Welcome to the Game Changer 00100 show. I'm your host, Game Changer, and today we are going to talk about SheRas 7 and Crystal and Carrizon getting together to destroy young Black girls' lives. How are they doing this? By giving them bad advice. Younger women look up to these women as mother figures, and they will assume that whatever these women are doing, they're doing right, and I want to be like them when I grow up. And it is a reasonable goal, I guess. But realistically, they are teaching these young ladies to take the path to the happiness that they claim to have that they didn't take. But we'll get into that. So recently they did a video together entitled, let's see. Give me a second. What is this entitled?
Well,
this is crap. Oh, dude, something about good and bad and ugly. I guess the answer to that is yes. But okay. So the good side of being bad featuring SheRas 7. This is on the Pink Pill channel. It says, get out of there, GC. Don't have enough feminazis come for you. Yeah, they're gonna come for me. Ever since I took the scrolls, they're gonna come for me. That's why I get shadow banned and all kind of stuff. So that's just part of the game. What can I say? You know, I am me. All right. So anyway, the good side of being bad featuring SheRas 7. And here I'll put a picture of both of them up because I'm not going to show it. I'm just going to play the audio because this is fair use. All right. So did that right there. And I just listened to almost the whole thing, but the last 5 minutes is just them doing like a silly little dance. All right, so let me cue it up. I appreciate you, Sick Lid. And what I also appreciate is that y'all get the likes up. Greatly appreciate that, y'all. All right. Also, get the subscribe button. And if you are already subscribed and you hit the like button, make sure you hit the bell. Greatly appreciate that. Really, really, truly, and greatly appreciate that. All right, so let me just switch the accounts right quick. Salute to everybody. I see
if
y'all.
you're tired of reading about other people getting rich in the stock market, this might be a good
freaking ads. Okay, there we go. All right, so okay, so she's about to do her little thing. Let me do that right there. And all right, here we go.
It's Pinky. You're on the Pink Pill YouTube channel. Be alive.
No, you're not.
Share is here joining us, and our topic today is the good side of being bad. So thank you guys for joining. As you can see, I've got my rosé here, and this is one of my favorites, Kim Crawford. You know, we do rosé and we sip rosé all day on the Pink Pill channel. So let me bring in the guest of honor here. Hi. How are you? Hello, beautiful. I'm trying to get like on your. I'm trying to get on the same like level with you.
It's so funny.
You guys, why am I wearing white?
And Shira is wearing black because we're talking about the good side of being.
Okay, so basically, I just want to point out, I think it's fair to point out that SheRas 7 is significantly hotter than Crystal and Carrizon. Want to come right off the bat and say that. Now, I believe that they both had work done, a significant amount of work done, but all in all, the light-skinned one is the hotter one. Now, typically, they'll be enemies. In fact, by all rights, they should be. Why? Because Crystal and Carrizon chronically talks about how light-skinned women are taking our man and colorism. Oh, colorism. In fact, she is an advocate for dark-skinned wealthy men to stay away from women like SheRas 7 or a younger version of SheRas 7, else be labeled a colorist. Which means that Crystalline Carrizon has her hand in SheRas 7 bag. She does, quite literally. Well, not quite literally. Not literally, it's all figurative, but still, you know what I mean. But they joined forces. And I'm going to tell you why in a moment. But they joined forces today.
Bag. And SheRas, tell people a little bit about, I told them about your channel, but tell us a little bit about how you got here, your journey and your story, and how you have come to be such an influential powerhouse on YouTube.
Well, I started, I think it was 2015 or 14, it could have been. And I was just in my my bathroom getting dressed and putting on my makeup, and I was like, oh, I guess I'll go shopping. And then I was thinking, you know, when I was shopping, I was like, I don't see too many other ladies around here shopping that look like me. They're all behind the register or at work or something like that.
This is true. And this is the ultimate result. If you are a woman who are not supporting your men to be their best, then you are going to come across a lot of economically subpar men. And the result of that is you working behind the counter, serving women whose men are giving them an allowance. That's the ultimate result of it. Let's continue.
And, you know, so I thought that, you know, by sharing my message and my advice and methods, that I could probably change people's lives and give them, you know, some tips and advice on how they too could, you know, live a life of like leisure, or at least have a way to work for themselves or start their own business. Or, you know, it didn't start off as, you know, starting a business, but it started off more as being the prize, being someone's, you know, wife, or being someone's priority, to where they don't make you go out and, you know, help build them or give them money, or, you know, we should just be able to be in our feminine and relax and just be who we were meant to be. So that's how my channel started off. And it's about hypergamy, getting the bag. And
okay, so they don't really believe in helping to build a guy, which makes them less valuable as a woman. Meaning that, see, here's the problem with what they're doing, especially for young women. Part of a woman's value to a man is as a helpmate. And because a man is in a constant journey of improvement, they're going to look for women who aid in that improvement, even if it is such a thing, even if it is something as small as getting them a sandwich. If a man is working on something extremely hard and complex, his concentration is broken when he is hungry and or has to go fix his own food. Getting him that sandwich allows him to stay focused and allows him to do the major things. It accelerates him. They don't believe in that. And because they don't think it's a reward in that. Now, every other group sees the reward in that. They see the reward in the whole, this week he's mopping floors, next week is the fries thing. But they're okay. Not going to get into that because I have a lot of video to cover.
I do take some approaches that may not be necessarily moral to society, but I believe in creating your own personal morals that work for you. So that's that.
And here's the thing.
That's a way of saying you don't have morals. Because you create your morality based on your morality, which the only way that can make sense is if you don't have morals to begin with. Or else it's just an infinite cycle.
What I like about you is that you provide a layer. On my channel, I talk a lot about the presentation and being able to seamlessly go in and out of certain ecosystems with people who are high caliber and who can move you further, whether it's romantically, socially, or professionally. And I spend a lot of time talking about sort of the straightforward tactical parts of it, and people can say that I'm very much a goody two shoes, good girl, but people don't realize that there is a necessity to be a little bit more mercenary, a little bit more Machiavellian when it comes to.
All right. Oh gosh. So the thing about Crystalline Carrizon is that she's dumb. Machiavelli and mercenaries aren't really the same thing. To be a bit more mercenary, to be a bit more Machiavellian. Now, typically people mean strategic when they talk about Machiavelli, because when he writes about the Prince Cesare, he's talking about how to garner strategy and managing a principality and things like that. Doesn't really apply here at all. Like, not even close. This isn't this. And for one, Machiavelli directly speaks poorly of mercenaries. He's saying only do it if you have to, and how to manage them if you do, because you're dealing with somebody who is fighting for money. They're not fighting for love or country, and they have no personal stake in it. They're flighty at best, and they can be purchased in the opposite direction. So she's just saying stuff that is trying to sound like she's smarter than she is, but
when it comes to the things that you want. And I think that you would agree that we can't always play fair, not if the other players aren't playing fair.
Okay. If you're going to be deceptive, then do not announce that you're going to be deceptive. You kind of ruin your brand, and in this case, the brand is Black women. You basically told every man that's listening to my show and anybody else who cares to soundbite you, and I encourage everybody to do that you are deceptive. On top of everything else, you're deceptive. And you're even announcing this to your husband? Just saying.
He can't play fair. And so I think that what it is that you do is about leveling the playing field, because if those other people aren't playing fair, then you're going to have to adjust.
Right.
So I say I'm all for it. I'm all for it. So what would you say is one of the most controversial positions that you hold that have gotten people's eyebrows raised up into their hairlines?
By telling people to lie. Lie.
I tell people to lie. I basically just brought damage to Black women's already damaged reputation by calling them liars. Black women have a messed up reputation that comes from, the Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, World Star Hip Hop type. And then they say, something, if you find a Black woman who's not the Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, World Star Hip Hop type, she is a liar. She is using Machiavellian tactics to get your bag. They are killing young girls' reputation. So now the young men who were saying, oh, something, she's cute. And she don't look like she's on that sister girl stuff. She don't look like she's on that Jerry Springer, Maury Povich, World Star Hip Hop stuff. Oh, but she's probably a liar. She's on that Machiavelli stuff. Okay, never mind. Becky.
Lie has gotten me crazy people in my comments saying, honesty is the best way, and repent for all this kind of stuff. And, I just feel like in a world where everything is a lie, your truth may just be a lie as well. So why not use the same tactics that they use in order to create such a standard?
Now, here's the thing about people who think lying is a positive. Never assume that they are telling you the truth. Never assume that somebody who uses lie as a positive, as a good thing, is telling you the truth. because they don't believe in power of the truth. So meaning that they're going to lie to you when it is in their best interest to do so. Now, that is something that Machiavelli talks about. He refers to men, but he's basically saying, you know, when should a man tell the truth? And the answer is when it's in his own best interest to tell the truth.
Dirty to create what you want instead.
Soup Bone says, did she say that with a straight face? Everything she says is with a straight face because she's not really able to make, and I'm talking about SheRas 7, because of the work that she had done, she's not really able to make expressions yet. If you watch the video, you'll notice that. She's not really able to have her expressions match what she's saying. And she kind of has a consistent look like she's eating the inside of her face, like she's using her molars to chew the innards of her cheek. Now, maybe this will change as the surgeries heal, but yeah, everything she does is pretty much with the same expression.
You're married. Did you lie?
And I lied. That's why I'm here.
So, how did you meet? You're married. How did you meet your husband? For the people who are who are new, I know that you got a lot of fans here. They may know the story, but how did you meet your husband, and how did that go down?
Well, I was on my way to volunteer to help someone. Well, y'all know I used to be a mortician, right? So I was on my way to volunteer to help my ex-boss to embalm my body. But he was running late, so there was this little restaurant bar around the corner from the funeral home. So I went there, and my friend was a bartender there. And so I sat there and had a glass of wine. And then all of a sudden, this man walks up to me and, starts talking. And I'm not really interested in him because, I'm not really paying attention. So then he starts talking.
I'm not really interested in him. She's about to talk about her current husband and how they met. And it's not going to be in a good way for the husband.
And he offers to buy me a drink. And then I ask him, because I'm trying to get rid of him, right? I'm like, so what do you do for a living? So I'm asking all the wrong questions just to see if he'll get away. And he says, oh, I do this, and that. I own my own company. I was like, okay, that's nice. He gave me a card. And then he said, can I get you a glass of wine? I'm like, sure. And then I'm like, okay, after I get this wine, I'm just going to try to get rid of him again by asking him what he drives.
So you're just trying to do all the things that turn men off so you can just get this man out of your face.
And that's what they're selling them on. You see, here's the thing. Most any woman who's reasonably attractive can get the bag. What they want to do is they want to teach women how to get the bag while not respecting their mate. See, that's crucial. That's a crucial part of what they're doing, of what they're trying to teach young Black girls and older Black women, how to get the bag without respecting their mate. That's their goal. That's their life's goal. I want to be able to get the bag from a guy without respecting them. Because if you have respect for your mate, then, he's going to reciprocate. But they're on some other stuff.
Right. Because at that point, I had made it up in my mind. I was not going to deal with anyone who did not earn a certain amount of money or have a nice, luxury vehicle, because I was done with Dusties. Mm-hmm. So this was just my quick way of getting rid of them, but he didn't leave. So he said, oh, I drive a brand new Mercedes, such and such, convertible. And it's right outside. I'm like, okay. Like my ears perked up because I was only 22, Mm-hmm. So my ears perked up and I said, Then he begged me to call in to cancel, going to, meet the ex-boss.
Now, she said her ears perked up and she said that she was only 22. So this whole younger women, older men thing, yeah, I think that Crystal and Carrizon, this is you. When you say Kevin Samuels and, the 20-somethings don't want the women who are younger, hotter, sexier, childless. Her whole story is kind of disproving you real time. Everything you say about that, with the recent Kevin Samuel stream, these young girls don't want older men. And then you tried to convince that one guy, when you was sitting. Oh, by the way, look at her background now. Oh, Christ. Hold on. I'll get back to it.
Boss to work, whatever. And so I did. And then like we spent the rest of the evening, drinking and talking and then all that, so forth and so on. And we weren't apart for longer than 2 weeks after that, ever.
Wow. And he had some complications though, right?
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah, he was married, girl.
He was married, and I think I overheard.
And 10 years older.
18 years older.
No, he was 10 years older than what he told me he was.
So he was 10 years older than what he told her she was. So basically, this is a case of a guy who got his stuff together and got himself a woman who's younger, hotter, sexier, childless. Now, look at Crystal and Carrizon's background now compared to when she was doing it with that film director. Notice how she was like on the carpet, like I'm on the bearskin rug in front of the fireplace, sipping wine with my legs out, etc., etc., etc. Notice how she was doing all that. And this one, she's just, she has the library and she has the book swirling. There's no need to flirt, and there's no need for manipulation. There's no need for sexual manipulation here because she's with another woman, a younger, hotter woman. So now she has the more practical business look about her. But if she's trying to dispel the myth, which is going to do harm to young ladies, if you're going to go after the bag like SheRas 7 did, then do it like SheRas 7 did. Become younger, hotter, sexier, childless. Become all of those things, and then find the guy with the Mercedes, I guess in her case. But you have these 35-year-old, average at best, females with a kid trying to do what SheRas did at 22 with no kids. So basically, right now, SheRas is in agreement with Kevin Samuels.
But he's 25 years older than me.
Wow.
So he's lied about it. Yeah, he's the same age as my dad.
Oh, he's 25 years older than you, which means that when he met you, you were 22 and he was 47. He was a 47-year-old high-value man. 47-year-old man. Remember Kevin Samuels was like, I had to beat him off with a stick? He's 47, having to beat him up with a stick. 47. So Kevin Samuels was just breaking the delusion of the Miss Average at Best types. These young girls don't want a 45-year-old man. Nope, they want a 47-year-old man. 47. This is your competition. Ladies, do not listen to these chicks and become, don't listen to their words because they admit that they're liars. Listen to their actions. They both married in their 20s. And Crystal and Carrizon didn't even marry a high-value dude. Don't listen to their words. Listen to their actions. Because now you are a competition. Yeah, she's probably lying too. She probably already knew that she was 40, that he was 47. She very likely already knew that he was 47 and just didn't care because she really only cared about his Mercedes. I mean, it's not like she stopped, and it's not like she was with him for his looks, because, you know, she admitted that she initially wasn't interested in him. I mean, it's not like when he sat down, she was just enamored by his jawline. No, her interest in him was his Mercedes, no matter what his age was. So, by the way, he is the same age, or he was the same age when he pulled her that Crystal and Carrizon is now. Just saying.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah. Wow. But he looks younger than my dad, though.
Okay. So he's 25 years older. You're 20. You're not that interested at first. You become a little bit more interested because you've sworn off Dusties and you're like ready to level up with this partner. The complications of you being married.
She sworn off Dusties at 22. If you are 42 saying, and that's what some of these chicks who call are, if you're 42 saying, you know something, I'm sworn off Dusties. It's like, really? That's like being 42 and saying, okay, I think it's about time to get serious about my basketball career. I'm not talking about the 42-year-old divorced women or something like that. I'm talking about, because they swore off Dusties before they just find themselves in a situation. I'm not talking about that. All right, let's continue. Excuse the landscapers in the background.
Married. I mean, him being married.
Well, he didn't tell me he was married. I had to find out.
Okay,
later.
So how did that? Okay. How did you find out?
I answered his phone when he was not around, and it was his wife.
What did she say to you? Listen to me. I'm like, what did she say?
She said, hello, who is this? I was like, this is James's girlfriend. Who is this? Because it had been like 3 months. And I have this whole story on I have this whole story on my YouTube channel. But yeah, but they had already kind of separated because he had his a whole other place. So they were just only married in name, or maybe they were just separated. They weren't living together. So I didn't break up the home. They were already separated. But they may have been trying to work it out. I don't know, but he wasn't trying to work it out on this end.
Right.
So
so I mean, this is very interesting, and I think this is why.
Now, of course, he's not going to try to work it out on his end, because he has you and those like you. Like, money aside, he has less to lose in the endeavor, because he's going to be a 47-year-old man with a Mercedes. And you're going to be a 47-year-old woman with half of Mercedes. I mean, no matter what, he has greater bounce back than his wife. So, of course, he has less of a motivation to work things out.
You have quite a bit of authority in what you do, because you initially were the side piece, but you parlayed that side piece status into wife status.
Now, you see, there's some cattiness going on here. And I'm going to point it out throughout. There's definitely some cattiness. You were initially the side piece. Actually, she was more akin to the new up-and-coming girlfriend, because, he wasn't living with his wife. For all intents and purposes, they were separated. They weren't actually together. So she wasn't the side piece, because his wife wasn't his piece. He wasn't with his wife. He wasn't in the same house with the wife. So she wasn't really a side piece. But Crystal and Carrizon tried to passive aggressively throw that in there, because she hates light-skinned women. And she hates younger, hotter, sexier, child-did women. You are a side piece. Is basically what she's saying. Like, to everybody listening, just want to point out she was a side piece. Just saying. In case y'all were wondering, what do you call a woman in her situation? We call them side pieces. Now, if you also wonder why there's such a visceral hatred for side pieces coming from the, Crystal and Carrizon side, because a side piece is the woman that Waldo is with right now. Oops. Let me continue.
So, there's a lot of people out here who stay in the side piece status and they don't move on to be the wife. So what do you think you did to move from the side piece to the wife?
Well, at that time, I was too young to be trying to worry about being a wife. So I just said, I just give me a ring. I'm not trying to get married. Just give me some type of.
Did y'all hear how many times she said side piece? You were a side piece, and most people stay side pieces, but you move from being a side piece. So how do you move from being a side piece to get to wife status from being a side piece? Listen to how many times she said side piece. I'm telling you, there's a lot of cattiness and shade going on here. It's amazing.
Promise ring, diamond ring, engagement ring, whatever you want to call it. So we went to the jewelry store. He bought me like a really nice diamond band, and I was happy with that. He was giving me money every month, every time I needed. He paid off my car. I didn't have to work anymore. Mm-hmm. So it's like, I'm free, And so we started living together after that, and I was getting bored because, everything that I wanted, I already had. We got to live in a nice high-rise, downtown with this beautiful sky view. Had nice car, and so I was getting bored, and so I went back to school, and he paid for me to go to culinary art school because that's what I was interested in.
What? And you like to cook? Oh my God, I love to cook.
I did, but he didn't like to eat the food that I was cooking because he's old and he only likes old-fashioned food. So all the all the gourmet stuff that I learned, like, I couldn't really practice or cook it. So I kind of don't do that anymore, but it was fun to do.
Okay, so once again, ladies, no shade. Do as she did. If you do as she did, not as she say, but as she did, if that's your goal, you can go to culinary art school and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Personally, don't eliminate your opportunity for young love. Find that dude with potential, because it is easier to get with a med. If you're young, it is easier to get with a med student than it is a doctor. So I would say that. But yeah. Toilets. Okay. They do eat shit. So yeah. All right, let's continue.
Just to pass the time, and so he paid for that, and then that was pretty much it until we finally decided. His wife actually divorced him because she was tired of hanging on, for nothing. So she finally filed the divorce, and when we were, I think I was about 25.
Now you see that. You see how she is constantly throwing shade because they're looking for ways to get the bag while disrespecting the man that they get the bag from. His wife divorced him. I mean, did she really? Did she really? He's out in a separate home sleeping with 22-year-olds. Like, he pretty much already left. He's buying 22-year-olds, at culinary school educations and stuff like that. He's already gone. She just made it official. He's already gone, but she want to make it seem like he is the rejected one. No, he rejected his wife long ago.
At that time. And so then he was like, well, we could get married now. I was like, okay, well, I guess, but sure, why not? I was only 25, and I was, I guess we were together for that long. I might
And
as
so
well.
he was 50.
Was he? Yeah, he was 50 when we got married.
Wow. Did you feel any type of way about that?
No, I didn't, because he didn't look 50. He probably looked 40. And I wasn't, and
wow. Did you feel some type of way about that? She knows that this is just completely dismantling her whole Kevin Samuels argument. It's completely dismantling. She's like, wow, did you feel some type of way about that? No, not really. Like, yeah, not really. Didn't really care.
everybody knew, and it wasn't a big deal.
Oh, Poindexter, why would you even ask that? Okay, just to be clear, I don't know SheRas 7. I do know Crystal and Carrizon well enough to say that SheRas Husband is definitely Black. If SheRas Husband was non-Black of any type, then Crystal and Carrizon would have said it 20 times by now. She would have said, so you found love with your non-Black man at this age. And people say that non-Black men don't like Black women, but non-Black men liked you. He was a non-Black man and he liked Black women. You found happiness. You were rejected by Black men and you are with a non-Black woman. She would have said that over and over and over and over again. So absent that, he must be Black. Absent that she is not calling this a win for Swirlers, means that SheRas 7's husband must be Black. Period. Come on now, Poindexter. We know better than this.
To me, I mean, I have been with him for like 4 years, so I was used to it by then.
What did your parents say?
My mom didn't meet him until like a year after we started dating. My mom knew that he was married. My mom knew all this crazy stuff. But I told her, I said, well, this is what I want. He's taking care of me. He's doing this. He's doing that. So she finally started to like him, and, they get along fine now.
Yeah. Okay. So I thought my mom was doing something. My mom is 17 years old, was 17 years older or younger than my father. And he was 50 years old when I was born. So there's a lot of talk about hitting the wall, and, women they lose their looks after,
She's trying to dispel the wall. You see, married women don't try to do stuff like this. Like, happily married women don't try to do stuff like this. They try to, she's on some, I still got it. I'm 47. I still got it. I still got it. I still got it. There's no wall. Oh, really? You go out and try to do what this chick did at 22 and then talk to me about the wall.
"25 and you got to hurry up and get you a man, and you got to do all this stuff." And, like I'm 47. I don't know how old you are, but,
I'm 41. But you look good for 47. I'm only 41.
Girl, you are 41.
Yeah.
Whenever somebody says you look good for something, that is not a compliment. Just like they always complain when guys say, you look good for a dark-skinned girl. You look good, even though guys don't really say that. Like, guys don't really talk like that. But they always saying, you look good for a dark-skinned girl. You look good for a dark-skinned girl. You look good for a dark-skinned girl. You look good for a 47-year-old woman, is basically what she did. She did the equivalent to, you look good for a dark-skinned girl, at 47. Yeah, exactly. This is shots fired. But remember how many times she said side piece? Remember how many times she said side piece? You were a side piece. You were a piece on the side. You're a piece on the side of somebody else's dish. You are a side piece, a side piece, a side piece, a side piece. Yes, I was a 22-year-old side piece, and his main piece was some 47-year-old chick like you. Oh, shots fired. Down goes Carrizon. Down goes Carrizon. All right, let's continue.
Yeah.
Girl, we do look good.
I know, right?
We look good. But you know what? It's also, I think it's because the lifestyle that we live.
Oh, my bad. I was muted the whole time. Oh, well. But yeah, basically, I think it was an honest compliment. They look good for their ages. So when somebody says, look good for a dark skinned girl, I want you to take it as a compliment, because you're the one who always come here talking about that's colorism. That's colorism. But even though they don't care that much about you, that's what it is. That's what it is. Don't complain. Just take it all as a compliment. If that's the way you think.
I think that many Black women have a lot of challenges, stresses in their life. But when Black women are treated well and they are well watered, they age with grace and beauty.
When Black women are treated well and they're well watered, they age with grace and beauty. I want y'all to remember that she said this. Never forget that she said, when they're treated well and they are well watered, they age with grace and beauty. Because I'm going to come back to that in a moment. Well watered. Remember that. And don't remember it forever, but remember it because I'm going to bring the point up later and then you can forget it after that. All right.
And that's why I think it's so wonderful that you're teaching Black women. And here's the thing. I don't know if you got hit up by a filmmaker. You probably did. She's working on a movie about hypergamy. If you haven't yet, you might. If you haven't yet, I'm going to put her in touch with you. Hypergamy from Black women. It feels like Black women are just now discovering hypergamy. Or
oh, gosh. They are just trying to ring the bell. Imagine if you're a young man trying to get with a young woman and you know that Black women are culturally on this get the bag hypergamy stuff. They are, like the first rule about hypergamy is don't talk about hypergamy. First rule about hypergamy, or second rule about hypergamy is don't talk about hypergamy. Third rule of hypergamy is don't talk about hypergamy. Of course, they're just discovering it because other races don't talk about hypergamy. Through all your Machiavellian talk, you're pretty transparent in your intentions. Did SheRas tell her husband, her 25 or her 47-year-old suitor that she is hypergamous? No, she didn't. In fact, notice this. See, she said that she was trying to get rid of him. So the quickest way she knew of to get rid of him was to be openly hypergamous. What do you do for a living? What kind of car you drive? The quickest way to get rid of him was to be openly hypergamous. And what are they doing to these ladies? Being openly hypergamous. Crystal and Carrizon is stupid like that.
Or rediscovering it and realizing that this really isn't working for us. The fact that we're moving up in all of these different areas, and we're in ecosystems where we're meeting men who are well-to-do or at least on our level, but many of us have been conditioned to reject those men and to go back. And
the only other people who were trying to condition you to reject those people was you. When you were 22 and your mama was 47, she was trying to convince you to reject those people so she could keep them for herself. Now that you're the 47-year-old, you are trying to convince women to lead, knowing, be openly hypergamous. So later in other videos, you can say, oh, they just want to get the bag. They're not interested in you. These young girls aren't interested in you. Exactly. On their level, it doesn't make sense, especially in SheRas 7. She's kind of looking at her like she's stupid, because on her level, what does that mean when SheRas 7 wasn't on the guy's level that she married? Like, she wasn't on his level. She met him at a bar. But CK is trying to sell this, this whole fantasy of, first you get the money, then you get the power, then you get the men that already has money and power, so he don't really need yours. She's deliberately trying to sabotage these women. This chick was not she wasn't looking for, all the trimmings. No, she was just saying, listen, I am 22 years old. I'm not out trying to become a doctor just so I can marry another doctor. I'm young, I'm presumably pretty, and I am going to get my bag that way. And I don't have to get into the secret society of high earning people, which doesn't really exist, in order to do it. If anything, I could be a waitress or a caterer at the secret society of high value people and meet them that way.
Black women are just now discovering hypergamy, and so how do you see? What have you seen? Have you seen an evolution in Black women's response to what you offer and what you teach?
Yes, when I first started out, it was a lot of, but I love him, or I'm, ride or die, and I'm gonna help build him. There was way more pick-me-shas out there, is what I.
Yes, a woman should do all of those things. Like, a woman should do all of those things. But you call that a pick-me-sha? Basically, there's two paths to getting high-value men. One is the path of, like Kevin was saying, get with a man while he's young and be his ride or die chick, and he brings you along with him on his journey to becoming a high value man. That's one way. And that's what you hear other races of women doing. That's why when you watch those movies about, the high school mean girls and stuff like that, they're always with the high achievers. oh, he's captain of the football team and he's captain of the academic squad and he's leader of this and captain of that. And, you know, that's why they're doing that. They're saying that I can invest in this guy and he's most likely to grow. That's what they're getting at. All right.
I call them.
Yeah.
And, you know, ever since I started my YouTube channel, and a lot of, you know, singers and artists, rap artists have started also, you know, having the topic in their music. I think it's
okay. Fair point. Fair point. He can possibly leave you for the woman he wants, but guess what? He leaves everybody for that. Like, I think that you're under the impression that doing it the other way is safer. It's not. You just put yourself in a category of one of many women who are after this one guy's same bag. If a guy is of that temperament, then, you know, it's bad luck. I'm not saying that it's perfect. I'm saying that it's better than what was previously being done, and that was getting with a guy with no potential and providing for him. I think that so many women, particularly Black women, are moving away from that, and they don't know where exactly to move to. Because yes, the most secure relationship that a woman can possibly get is to get with a guy who has nothing and will starve without you. If you're looking for security, go for that. If you're looking for financial stability in a man, then know that it comes with some risk. Unfortunate, but true. We deal with the same thing when we deal with beautiful women. We know it comes with some risk. We know that every time she goes out, 3 guys are going to ask for her number. We know this. It is what it is.
caught on a lot. And I also feel that the appearance has a lot to do with it as well. Leveling up your appearance allows you to be hypergamous. And so I noticed that a lot of women started to, you know, level up their appearance so they could get to the bag. And once they did, other people started following suit because they understood, you know, they don't have to work, or even if they don't want to work, they can start their business and get funded by, you know, the guy. I was in a drive-through of Panera Bread, right? There was this lady working there, and she was way too cute to be working in a drive-through. And I was like, I hope she finds my channel, because she does not have to be doing this. Like, honestly, she don't have to be doing that because she's too cute.
Yeah, and here's the thing, like, whether certain people like it or not, beauty is currency. And
boom! Beauty is currency. Beauty is currency. So when Kevin Samuels say, sweetie, you're average at best, he's saying that your currency is average at best. You are the equivalent to a 40K dude. At best. You are average at best. And there you go, right there. That's the explanation right there. You're average at best, and your beauty is a currency, and you're poor, is essentially what he's saying. You just made his point for him. So see, and this is the disingenuous part about Crystal and Carrizon. You understand that beauty is currency. You understand that she doesn't have much of it. Miss Average at best doesn't have much of it. And instead of telling her to get with the guy that her beauty can afford, you're telling her to attempt to get with the guys that she can afford beauty-wise. And this is why I'm saying they're trying to snatch these young women's soul.
And your your beauty, I think regardless of your age, the way you present, the package is your currency, and it is worth something to the right people, and you just have to find your market.
Yes, it is worth something, but some women's beauty is worth more than others. Some women's beauty is worth more than others. And that's all Kevin Samuels was saying, that as a person who appreciates beauty, and by that I mean a man, he's saying that some women's beauty is worth more than others. And if you know that your beauty is average at best, then everyone who is more beautiful than that beauty is worth more than yours. Appreciate you, Counselor Murray.
And I think we both teach that, but you are a little bit more. I remember. Okay, so I have to tell you something. So I remember one time, and I think I talked to you this about over the phone. I was in, I don't know where I was. I think it was in Canada at the time, and I was listening to you, and you were talking about like all the ways to try to get a man to like be totally focused on you, and to get him away from his friends, and you said you gotta get him away like for a weekend. You gotta get him away, from all. You can't let it be like on his turf. You need to get him in a totally separate spot, and then work on him and make sure that the experience is really pleasant and just love on him or whatever. But you gotta get him out of his element. And so I do a lot of reading and research, just in the work that I do, and the things that naturally about taking people out of isolating them and things like that. Mm-hmm. And that's a psychological thing. And we also talked about doing fun things.
So what's the psychological term for that psychological thing? What's the psychological term for that thing? That's a psychological thing. Through all my reading and research, I don't know what it's called. But see, I think that SheRas 7 thinks that Crystal and Carrizon is an idiot. Because that's the type of stuff idiots say. Like, you don't really call them that to their face unless you really don't like them. Like, I don't like Crystal and Carrizon. But you just kind of think it. Because that whole sentence didn't really say anything. SheRas 7 is like, I know it's a psychological thing. Like, pretty much everything you do with a person has some type of psychological stimulus. So what is this chick talking about? I do a lot of reading, and did you know that what you're doing is psychological? Yes, I know that. Everything you do. That's like you're playing with your kids, right? And then somebody comes along and says, hey, I do a lot of reading, and I see you're here playing with your kids. Did you know that playing with your kids is psychological? And you just want to punch the shit out of them for saying something so stupid? That is what SheRas wants to do right now. She thinks she's an idiot, and she's right. And to be perfectly honest, every time Crystal and Carrizon does a video with somebody with a 3-digit IQ, she kind of comes off that way, and they have a hard time holding that in. They have a hard time holding in or hiding their facial expressions from expressing that they think that you are an idiot. What you just said is psychological.
And doing things that sort of make your heart race, like.
Okay, I appreciate you, Counselor Murray. All right, I seen somebody else. Primetime VA sent another $5. I appreciate you, swole brother. All right, so what did this brother say? Somebody said something. Oh, he said they're both are idiots. Well, it's a relative thing. So, like, if they're both idiots, then like Crystalline would be an idiot's idiot. Like relative to SheRas, she's an idiot. It's kind of like when you have two midgets and then, one of them called the other one shorty. It's like relative, we're all midgets. But amongst midgets, you're short. Is basically what's being said. Amongst midgets, you're short. All right. Michael Ross, I appreciate you, brother. I appreciate you a lot. Thanks for $5 super chat. Thanks a lot. All right. So, Terenzo Jones, appreciate you. You say, Brother GC, these men and women don't know how to define themselves psychologically. So they're living out someone else's, monetary illusions, which is mental suicide. Yeah. Yeah, I agree. You know, once again, I'm not familiar enough with SheRas Husband's body of work. You know, I know her surgeon is familiar with her body of work. Yeah. But I'm not. So, you know, I don't know like what she's telling these women to do, but if she's telling them to be better women to get better men, it's not really much wrong with that. You know, she would just teach them to have genuine respect for the guy, you know, that is feeding them. But yeah, Terenzo, I appreciate you, bro. All right. So
going to amusement parks or things like that, because the adrenaline and the heightened senses causes them to attach those feelings onto you, and you just so happen to be there to be the receiver of all of these like exciting, stimulating feelings. And when I told you, I said, you know what, there's psychology out there about what it is that you teach, and if there's a specific name.
Oh, this chick, I'm telling you, she is an idiot's idiot. If she was an idiot, then SheRas is obviously thinking that she's an idiot. Giving somebody positive stimuli is a good thing, and there's a psychological term for it. I'm not going to say what it is because I don't know in all my reading, but it is psychological. You are an idiot.
For it, and I said, did you know that? And you said no.
You said that there's a name for it, and then you said, did you know that there's a name for it? Oh gosh.
I just knew.
Well, there is.
She just laughed at her own idiotic statement.
I didn't know the specific term for it, but I knew that it worked.
Yeah. And okay, so let's talk about. This is one thing I really want to talk to you about, SheRas. Mm-hmm. You know me. I'm sure you've watched me like I have watched you. One thing that I admire about you is just like you have gotten criticized. You've got the same pages on these, horrible gossip websites as me and everything like that. And you just are so, it just does not bother you. Like it just does not faze you in any way, shape, or form. People have tried it and been handily put in their place. I've been on the live chat when a certain YouTuber who thought he was going to do something he had to remove the video because he was looking bad out here. What is it that you do? What mentality? We talked a little bit about it, and you gave me some good advice, and I appreciate it. What is it that you do? What's your mentality about it? How do you weather all of the criticism?
I take it as a position of honor, because people usually don't criticize other people that they're not into or interested in or don't want to be. So I take it as an honorable position. I like a tabloid and a celebrity,
So all these black men who come after me, they want to be me?
Obviously, either they want to be you or they want.
What? That didn't make any sense. So Crystalline Carrizon says, you get a lot of negative press, and SheRas 7 says, I take it as a badge of honor. The attention I'm getting, it makes me feel like a celebrity. So are you saying that black men who talk about me want to be me? What kind of, how did you come to that conclusion? Oh, you're an idiot. You're an idiot. Like, that's how you come to such bizarre conclusions. That's what idiots do. Like, where did you come with that? Where did you come with that conclusion? SheRas says negative press makes me feel like a celebrity. Your response is black men want to be me. What? What? Somebody swirled her brain. Like that's just completely. I don't know what's going on with that. Like that didn't make any sense at all. So once again, if SheRas is an idiot, Kristen Carrizon is an idiot's idiot, because basically, and it's going to show the difference in IQ, like as the story progresses. As this video progresses, it's shameful. And this is not a good look because she is light-skinned and you're not.
You to stop teaching women to value themselves, but either way, it's not going to work. I think I have to view it in a certain way, because people, instead of doing the work themselves, will try to tear other people down so they don't.
No. Her. See here, Primetime VA says room temperature IQ. She don't have a room temperature IQ. This is California. It's warm here. She don't have a room temperature IQ. She would have one if she lived in Alaska, but she don't have room temperature IQ here. It might be cold where you are, but no, her IQ is much lower than her current room temperature. She's in Cali.
I have to, get on that level.
Mm-hmm.
Because it's easier for them.
Yeah.
But I say no, level up. Come get on my level if you want to criticize me. I don't take any criticism for anyone who's not on my level. So
I don't want to get into specifics, but I feel like between you, me, other content creators, we are really starting to strike a chord with women, and in particular Black women. And the light bulb is going on. Oh, somebody gave me a Cash App. Thank you, Leah, for the Cash App. I appreciate it. There has been an energy of Black women. It's almost like an enlightenment. Hey, what SheRas says makes sense. What Crystalline says makes sense. What Tanya and all the other ones.
See, here's the thing. There is an enlightenment amongst Black women, but it's not the one that they're talking about. The enlightenment amongst Black women is that what they're doing is wrong, and now they're looking for the right thing to do, and y'all trying to sell them you're trying to sell them something else. They don't know what the right thing to do is. So they're trying to figure it out like real time. But they just know that what they were doing before was wrong, even though it gave them the most security.
It makes sense. I'm going to start loving myself more. I'm going to start getting in the bag. I'm going to start cultivating myself so I can feel comfortable being around these wealthy men. And it was good for a while. And I feel like there's this pushback energy that is happening right now. And I think all of us know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I think we know. Pick Misha X.
Yes.
Pick Misha X. They really got Jessica on their mind, don't they? Like they really got Jessica on their mind. Because basically what Jessica represents is a counter method, one that actually works. You see, once again, Black women, the majority of Black women realize that what they're doing hasn't been working for quite some time. This whole large in charge, loud and belligerent stuff is not working. So they need a different method. Crystalline's method is securing the bag, or excuse me, is getting any guy of any other race than Black. SheRas' method is getting a guy of any race, as long as he has the money to keep her in a lifestyle. which she don't have to respect the guy. And Jessica's method is more like be respectful to guys and they will treat you well. And if at that point you decide to get a guy who is wealthy, you have better odds of doing that because men like being respected. Respectable men like being respected. Okay. Melinda, damn it. All right. I have a genuine question, BC. Are you trying to say DC? This is the first time I've seen this channel. Do you not believe that men should be providers in a relationship? Absolutely. This is your first time at this channel because you will know that people make fun of me for buying a woman a stove. But yes, I absolutely do believe that men should be providers in relationships. And I do believe that women should be respectful of said men. What in general do you have against these women? I mean, like, I don't know if you read the entire thing. Listen, or if you listen to the entire show. But listen, because I expressed it throughout the show, and I'm going to continue to do so. These women are teaching young women to do something different than what they did. As I mentioned before, I don't think there's anything wrong with a pretty woman wanting a wealthy man. Nothing at all. As long as she respects that man and appreciates him. Nothing at all. No shade for that. I don't think that there's anything wrong with a woman who dates interracially. As long as she's not turning down proper opportunities within her race. Nothing wrong with that either. However, these women are teaching younger women the wrong way of going about doing things. It's your first time here, subscribe and you'll know more of what I'm talking about. It's not that damn funny. Pygmisha X. It's not that damn funny.
We know.
What do you think that's about? What do you think that? I mean, it.
Exactly. Spliff Spark. I bought a woman a stove so she can cook for me. Like that's, I mean, you know, who was also 22, but I mean, like that's nothing wrong with it. I'm not mad at her for, you know, seeing that I'm a guy that can afford a stove. So like, I don't have anything against that. Okay, so stick with the channel because, Melinda, because I think that they have been telling you something about channels like mine that's not necessarily true. And they've probably been telling you stuff about Kevin Samuels' message that's not necessarily true. Listen, why would a 51-year-old man of means tell women not to be attracted to men of means? Doesn't make sense, right? I'm in my early 40s. Like that message really wouldn't work to my advantage, would it? Don't be like these chicks. Think better.
It's one thing for the men, you know, like I understand the men feeling some kind of way about the enlightenment of Black women, but the women who do it, like what is going on there? What is that about?
Seeking male validation.
Yeah, but clearly, yes, that's what it is. But
dang, it's a trip because Carrizon was looking for a deeper meaning, but she says seeking male validation. Now, Carrizon is about to reply to that, but I just want to say that everything that these women are doing or attempting to do, and they are trying to teach young ladies to do, requires male validation. It is in a woman's best interest to seek male validation. If a man thinks you're invalid, how are you going to get his bag? You are invalid. Anything you want to do with a man first requires validation. So don't say that like it's a bad thing. Or Jessica X is doing something stupid. She's like, listen, you know, respect men and they will validate you. look your best and they will lust for you. Treat them well and they will adore you. But SheRas seems to be like, I want to get the bag without respecting the guy. That's why she speaks about her husband in such a disrespectful way. All right, let's continue.
Being in service to men who so the desire for the male validation is more important than the elevation of women who look like them.
Yeah.
Yes, it should be. Now, it's not really because she's elevating the women by telling them to seek male validation. You dumb bitch, you. She's telling women to seek the validation. And she's saying that's more important than the elevation of other women? Yes. A husband's love is more important than the elevation of women you don't know. What's wrong with you? What's wrong with you? Like, do men talk like that? Oh, is having beautiful women more important than having boys be players? What? Idiot's idiot.
Yes. Because they can't compete. That's why there's no photo. Because they can't compete.
And what is this energy?
They can't compete. So basically they're saying that Jessica X can't compete for a high value man. I'm not really sure what Jessica X's end goal is as far as her own personal relationship life, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But most of your audience are avatar women who can't compete.
To put Black women in their place in particular,
she's asking the same question over and over and over again. And what do you mean? Like, all of you are trying to put Black women into their place, and that place is getting a man a sandwich. Like, it's just three different methods of getting to the same point. And it's not really putting a Black woman in her place to say that your method of getting to the point where a man provides you with a stove to make him a grilled cheese sandwich is she's basically saying that this is the way to do it. And they just hate her.
Saying, no, you think this is what you deserve, but I'm here to tell you, as the arbiter of all things, of the things that you want.
I can't see.
Huh?
I don't trust anyone that I can't see. First of all, we don't know what she looks like.
Mm-hmm.
We don't know how wide she is. We don't.
So we should never see SheRas 7 with Chrissy, because I don't trust anyone I can't see.
Know how many teeth she's missing. You don't know what gang signs her teeth are throwing if she does have any.
Right. If she has tattoos on her chest.
Okay, so now she's taking shots at Danica Marie. Now, see, here's the thing. These women all want high value men. I'm assuming. I doubt that Jessica's looking for a low value guy. Like, if given a choice between the two, she probably would prefer the higher value guy. Same with Danica. But first and foremost, the glaring difference between Jessica Danica and these two women is that they respect the man. You see, these two women here, the ones you see on your screen, they're trying to figure out how to get advantages that respectful women get without actually being respectful. And let's face it, working with a guy and helping him build something is something that respectful women do. They're trying to teach women to get these things without being respectful. And it will not work as well as actually respecting the person who provides for you. It just doesn't.
We have no idea what she looks like, because I think a lot of what she's doing has to do with self-esteem. And so we don't know what she's looking like. She could have had an abusive parent. She could have, she could be in a bad relationships. A Black woman could have stole her man.
She could have had an abusive parent, and that's something you're making fun of? And what would that have to do with what she's saying? That was just a very weird thing to say. So you're right, she is an idiot's idiot. So like Crystal Carrizon is the idiot's idiot. Not to say that SheRas 7 isn't an idiot by her own right. Like, how is that used against people? Only with people like these is that used against somebody. Ha! You had an abusive parent. Therefore, what you say is somehow invalid. What? What? And it's speculation, but why would you even speculate something like that? Why, of all the things you could make up in this world, you made that up? So you hear people, they're in your brain, and you say, oh, this person must have had an abusive parent. That's psychology. These chicks are insane. She might be missing teeth or something like that. I mean, like, they're just making stuff up. Attack the message.
Unless she really wanted, or he could be cheating with one. We don't know.
Right. Now, it's very, very difficult. It's easy for people who want to stay anonymous to make certain assertions and dispersion.
Now, it is funny because one of the things that she also speculated is that a Black woman took the man that she really wants. But wouldn't that be more aligned with, women like your behavior and Crystal Carrizon's behavior? Because the hatred would be towards the man. In fact, that's exactly what happened to Crystal. Oh, crap. That was a shot. I missed it. That was a shot. That was a shot at Crystal Carrizon. Boom! I missed it. That's right, because Crystal and light skin win again. Crystal and Carrizon, first baby daddy left her and got with another Black woman. Boom! And Crystal and Carrizon has been on this hate campaign ever since. Boom! That was a good one. That was a sniper shot there. I didn't see that one coming. Yep, that was a shot at her. Okay.
About people, but it takes a lot. It takes an incredible amount of courage to come up here and show up and be authentic and be the person behind the statements and stand behind those statements. I find it unfortunate that women, and I feel like we can go so much further, and this is why I'm so happy about the collaborations that are happening between us and other people, even if we don't agree, because. I mean, other women know to do this with each other. Like, women of other races know to do this, and they win. And I feel like so many of us are still working in the service to.
They win because they respect their men. They know that men have value outside of their income as well. Like, I'll show you. Listen. Field trip. Take a look at all the young white men in entry-level positions, or even mid-level positions with wedding rings on. They're not out, oh, I only mess with guys who has the bag. There are women not out doing that. That's just
the men who aren't necessarily, who are not elevating us. We're working in service to them while keeping us at the bottom. And I feel like there are certain people who are invested in keeping us at the bottom because they need to feel like there's somebody that they can feel better.
the men that's not working with us. No, we're not working with you. Why would we? But she's talking about black men when she say that she's not working with us. So just so y'all know, this whole I'm just talking about opening up our options. No, you're not. You're talking about not messing with black men. Let's be clear. Don't mess with the men that's not working with you. We marry you at a rate higher than anybody. Nobody is working with you more. And you know that.
Better than.
Right. And that's something that I don't believe. I believe that anyone who can put in the work to level up deserves to level up. And if somebody tries to keep you down, it's because they're afraid that you're going to rise past them. And if you rise past them, it's going to show the world that, hello, that's the only reason why they were trying to keep you down. It's because they were afraid that you would rise past them. We don't worry about keeping other people down.
No, I mean,
we're not afraid of people rising up past. And those that do, they are. That's why when they pick on you, when they try to do stuff to you, it's because they're coming from a lower level.
Yeah.
But aren't you picking on her? Like, didn't you just get finished talking about her teeth that you haven't seen? Like, didn't you just get finished speculating that her parents beat her? Like, so really those words are meant for you, but you don't see it because, the whole idiot thing I was saying before.
I think that certain people are threatened because what we do actually does have success, that we actually have helped many, many women. Can you think of...
Oh, really? What are their names? Who have you helped?
One particular, or maybe two occasions where something that you taught changed the trajectory of...
Here's the cat. Here comes the cat.
A woman who followed you.
I hear stories every day. A lot of people are getting married to men of means. I don't want to name any.
People were getting married to men of means prior to your channel. And they will be getting married to men of means after your channel. What, you're going to take credit for this? Like, are they saying this? Like, do you take this man of means to be your lawful wedded husband? For richer or richer, till death do you part? I do. And I would like to give a special shout out to SheRas 7. Is that happening? Or is it just par for the course, like the same thing was happening as before? Every woman who's still listening to you is a woman who it didn't happen to.
Names, because some of these people are, with big time people, but there was one lady who competed in, one of the major pageants, of the United States, who is, on my channel, who met someone through following my advice, who a year earlier.
What advice? What advice? If she's obviously like a pageant queen, what advice did you give her? Like, it seemed like that was like almost near destined to happen regardless. But you're just trying to steal the credit.
Earlier was still living with her mom, working, retail.
Wow.
So within a year, she was already doing that. And so that was one of the major. It's just so many. There's too many. And everyone that has gotten someone, there's people that are getting millionaires, meeting, millionaires and, surgeons and, all these type of people just getting to the back because they were already, decent looking. They just needed the mentality. And then there were ladies who needed to level up. And a lot of ladies lost a lot of weight because they saw my transformation and dropped so much weight. And now, getting married.
Y'all can't see it, but Crystal and Carrizon had a look when she said her transformation.
Going out with men who have money and so it's it's very inspiring, I think, but I don't really, feel that what I'm doing is hurting anyone. It's helping way more.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And let's talk about transformation, okay? Because you have lost a lot of weight. And so I want
this part here, pay close attention. Pay close attention to this part. This part is a trip. I was dying when I first heard it. All right. I'm not going to interrupt until it's done. Hold on.
you to tell me what it is that you do. We can swap transformation. I'm of the idea by any means necessary. You got your lips done. You inspired me to get my lips done.
They look good.
Thank you. I got lipo because I was like, you know what? After these 4 kids and these genetics, I try very, very hard to eat right and exercise, and the stomach won't go away. I'm going, by hook or by crook, and I think that's, the idea that everything has to be fair. Like there were people who called me. I'm not going to say who. They were like, oh, you cheated. You got lipo. What? I cheated? The idea that, hey, no, like I said, nobody is playing fair here. You know what I mean?
Right.
I don't understand. Why is it that other people feel like Black women should play fair when nobody else is playing fair? So
Jackson had lipo and had ribs removed. And, I don't care. Whatever you can do, whatever you can afford, however you can get to it, because somebody else is getting to it.
Yeah, and they're beating you. So like if you're the only one playing fair and everybody's cheating, it just doesn't make any sense. So tell me, what did you do to lose the weight? Because we can see it. I can see it on your channel. And you weren't ever really like fat,
I was small, and then I gained more weight, after I had kids and got relaxed. I actually lost weight after I had my babies, and then I gained it back just being around the house, right? But I lost it again when I started my whole level up journey for the second time, and I just cut my calories to 1,200 calories a day, 1,500 sometimes, but that's all I pretty much did. And later on, I became like plant-based, cut out meat and dairy. But
she killed her. You see, you got to understand how women think. You got to understand how women think to just understand how much of an uppercut, how much of a light-skinned uppercut to the chin that Crystalline Carrizon took. Crystalline Carrizon was trying to coach her into talking about her lipo. She was trying to coach SheRas 7 into admitting that she had lipo. Now, here's what I suspect, because SheRas did admit that she's a liar. I suspect that privately, SheRas admitted to Crystalline Carrizon that she had lipo. Crystalline Carrizon wanted her to admit it publicly, so she led her in. She's like, I had lipo and blah, 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 because, I'm just so fat. I was just so fat in my genetics and blah, blah, blah. Now, remember what I told y'all to never forget. She was talking before about how good living and watering is the reason why women of certain incomes tend to look younger. No, the reason is because y'all can afford to go under the knife. Like you did. Like you just admitted that you did. Basically, you showed everybody yours and she didn't show anybody hers. Period. You showed everybody yours and she didn't show anybody hers. Boom. That, when you think about how women think, that was hilarious. She went into the whole spiel about her lipo and this, and then she just turned around and said, oh yeah, well, I work out. Or no, she said, I actually diet. I cut my calories and now I am on a plant-based diet. But you do lipo. I'm just saying I didn't have those type of problems. I'm 41. You're 47. I'm light-skinned. You're not. Boom. We both had kids. But 1,200 calories, bitch. It's basically what happened there. Is it just me or is the chat room not moving? Well, all right. Okay.
I lost the majority of my weight just cutting the calories. And I would go to the gym and walk on the treadmill and do a little, repetition on the arms and the legs.
Oh, and she uses the treadmill. She just made her look foolish.
But that's about it. That's all I did. That's all that I did, and I just kept doing it and remained consistent until I'm at the top, like at the top category of my weight range. But I still want to go down a little bit more. So I'm taking that slow so that the change can be permanent.
Yeah. And that's with me too. Like, I don't believe in necessarily diets because diets, you eventually.
I don't believe in diets. So this is the whole this is the whole chick that was talking about everything, and she was telling Black women that they need to do something about their fat, and this is what she's talking about.
You eventually have to go off of them, and then what do you do after? So I don't do anything that I can't adopt like as a lifestyle. You know what I mean? I have, I'm a little bit older than you, not much, but a little. But diabetes runs in my family, high blood pressure, stroke runs in the family. So for me, it's more than just calorie restriction. I need to like manage my stress. I need to exercise. I need to like watch my sugars and things like that.
You need to do all that, but you didn't. And you don't. And you didn't and don't because, and you admitted to everybody that you didn't and don't because you got tricked, because you were tricked by an idiot, which makes you an idiot's idiot. You showed off yours and she didn't show off hers. You fell for the dokey yoke.
That, have you found it challenging to talk to women about their weight?
Deduct it from your daily diet until you can do 200, until you can get down to 1,500 calories a day, and you start seeing the weight loss. Take it slow,
right? And that's what I think that is the challenge when I try to communicate this is that
men, if you want to date men of all races, there's a certain level of expectations of aesthetics, and like I say, like you got to go get. You know what I mean? Some women who are a little bit more voluptuous and, they have a certain look, and they should go where they're celebrated. What is your stance on particularly?
Wait a minute. I'm confused. Are you telling them to go where they're celebrated? Meaning if you are voluptuous, they shouldn't do what you did. Notice how these chicks are always do as I say, not as I do. They shouldn't do what you did, which is get some lipo. But you say they should go where they're celebrated, meaning find a guy that likes fat chicks. I'm telling you, these chicks are just full of bad advice. They will give advice that they will not use themselves chronically. They are chronically and consistently giving advice that they don't do themselves.
Black women in interracial relationships. Do you have a position on that at all?
Well, my mom is like skinny, like you described. So she was always, getting hit on by men of other races.
So is your mom Black or what?
My mom's Black.
Oh, wait. Breaking.
Okay, so now Crystal and Carrizon is lit up because she sees a potential swirl in the mix. Crystal and Carrizon is so desperate for instances of swirling that she looks for it everywhere and say, you see, they love us. But let's listen further.
News. SheRas, all this time I thought that your mom, I knew that you were, multiracial, but I assumed that your mom was like Hispanic or something, and your dad was.
I see if I can find a photo of her, but she's black, and my dad is Puerto Rican, but he's like Hispanic Puerto Rican.
Mm-hmm. So he's like white presenting Puerto Rican.
He's white. He's Afro. He's light skinned with Afro Puerto Rican.
Okay.
He's light skinned with an Afro. So basically, her mother's with a light skinned black dude. She's a black woman with a light skinned black dude. But she's so desperate. Like, wait, is he white presenting Puerto Rican? You know, like 0% of the Puerto Rican population? Or come on, please tell me that your mother swirled. Please tell me that your mother swirled. Please tell me that your mother swirled. I need to know, please, I need some more instances to say that somebody loves us like the Veganator, please.
Okay.
Yeah. Is that better?
Well, because people will say, well, Hispanic is not a race.
Oh, gosh. Hold on. I don't know what's going on with StreamYards. Okay, so I can't highlight that comment, but somebody said, what's wrong with swirling? Y'all are racist. I didn't say anything was wrong with swirling. Or I should say, I didn't say anything was wrong with interracial dating. However, doing it as a means of revenge against, the race that you currently are in, you're doing yourself a disservice. And I'm going to go into that in detail tomorrow. But no, I've dated women of other races. I don't see anything wrong with that. But what she's doing is looking for instances and case studies to try to present these as superior relationships. And she's desperately doing it. Yeah. Y'all can hear me, right? Y'all can hear me. Well, anyway, no, I'm not saying that anything is wrong with swirling. I'm saying that there is something with desperately avoiding one group of men and throwing yourself at another group of men. You diminish yourself to that other group of men, and you create hostility from one group. Okay.
So what does he look? What is he phenotypically? So
mm-hmm.
I'm just trying to anticipate.
She just answered the question of what he phenotypically is. He's a light-skinned dude with an afro.
So your mom was black and skinny, and what black men were like, your booty ain't big enough. What did they say?
Why does she assume that her mother is being rejected by black men? Why would she work under that assumption? Like, oh, so your mother was skinny. Did black men say she wasn't skinny? Why would you assume that? Notice how that's a very leading question. Yeah, she's trying so hard. She's trying so hard to find fault in black men and to find positive in non-black men. Like, did she say anything? And her father is a black Puerto Rican, a light-skinned black Puerto Rican with an afro that liked her mother's booty.
They call her skinny gal back in the
what do you mean? Fashion 19, she's not like that. She's like exactly how she presented herself right now. That's exactly what she just did right now. T fashion? What are you talking about? That's like a person saying inward. Oh, he's not like that. That's exactly how he just was. No. SheRas 7 didn't say anything about black men not wanting her mother. At all, period. Crystal and Carrizon just insinuated, did they say this? Gosh. Who in the hell is this? How did you get here with no name?
Old age, like she was skinny.
Mm-hmm.
So she didn't have a booty.
Mm-hmm.
She was just like, she was one. Y'all remember those women in the 70s who were real skinny and they could wear those
You mean all of them?
pants? She was Diana Ross, basically.
Yeah. Or like
Twiggy.
Twiggy.
Diana Ross.
Mm-hmm. You remember Twiggy, that model?
There's absolutely nothing wrong with dating interracially. Just be with someone who loves and respects you, and that you can love and respect in return. That's all. Are you presenting like a counter to somebody who was saying that there's something wrong with dating interracially? Because it's misplaced. I mean, like, once again, I'm not saying that.
Yeah, it's just a stick. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
She was thin like Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to wear one of those Diana Ross wigs. And then love Diana Ross.
Mm-hmm.
So they love my mom. Yeah, she was into like going out. This is before I was probably born, but I found old pictures of her from the 70s. And she had on those little slim pantsuits and, jumpsuits from the disco era.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
Okay, so here
yes.
she is. I want to show the whole picture of the person she's with. Mm-hmm. But here she is with my.
This is about to get very cringe. What Crystal and Carrizon is about to say. Actually, I'll wait for her to say it, and then I'll show you. Actually, I'm not going to show what her mother looks like. Y'all can look at it. It's at 48 minutes and 36 seconds. If y'all want to see.
Yeah, she was into.
That's a good point, Melody. Notice how SheRas 7 said they tell her to gain weight. She said black people tells her to gain weight. She didn't necessarily say black men, did she? Just saying.
To like going out. This is before I was probably born, but I found old pictures of her from the 70s, and she had on those little slim pantsuits and jumpsuits from the disco era.
Oh, I can't wait to see.
Okay, so here
yes.
she is. I want to show the whole picture of the person she's with. Mm-hmm. But here she is with my.
Oh my God, SheRas, that's your mom. She looks like me.
Who in the world? Who in the world says she looks like me? Who in the world talks like that? She looks like, first of all, she don't look like you. She's just of a similar complexion. Secondly, it's like, what the fuck? This is not a baby we're talking about. This is her mom. This is her mom. Her mom said, she showed you a picture of her mom and you said, oh my God, she looks like me. I look like your mom. Your mom looks like me. What in the entire fuck is wrong with you? You have a twisted, demented soul to think that way. Like, I'm serious. There is something in your brain that is completely off to come with something like that. That is just cringe AF. Like, she looks like me. I can't even like break that down from like a intellectual perspective. That's just off. That is just off than a mug. Somebody shows you a picture of their mom and you say, oh, she looks like me. Is that a compliment? And if so, why are you complimenting yourself at the same time? Like, is that a self-compliment combined with a SheRas 7 mom compliment? Or is that just a way to steal any compliments that SheRas mom would have? Like, so if basically somebody in the chat room was like, oh, she's so pretty. She looks like me. Are you just trying to piggyback off of SheRas 7's mother's compliments? You are sick. You are truly a sick, demented Bitch! Who, that is just ridiculously weird. Like on so many levels. Imagine meeting somebody in person and then they say, hey, you know something? You know who you look like? Who? Me. Like, what the hell? What the hell? What? It's like we twins. It's that weird feeling. She just says stuff like this regularly. And she tries to hang out with normal women. That's not normal at all. I think that's the weirdest thing that a person could say after showing them a picture of their mom. Like, how awkward is that? And they're showing a picture of her mom when her mom was half your age. All slim, dark-skinned women look like me. You are insane. You are a crazy person. Basically, what she's saying is that her mom looks more like her than her kids. Yeah! Ha! People are looking at her light-skinned babies and they're like, oh, your kids look like your kids look like not like you, not like the father, but your kids look like Beyonce, Shamar Moore. They're light skinned. So basically, because she had, mixed kids, and she claims to hate women like Jessica X, even though she had their kids. But because she had mixed kids, she's so desperate. She's so desperate to find people that look like her. She's looking for it in other people's moms. Oh, God. Squeeze it, squash it, gamma. That is horrible. That is horrible. Oh, I'm going to play that again. She looks like me. Y'all know I got to do one slow motion. I got to do one slow motion for you.
Was thin like Diana.
Mm-hmm.
And she used to wear one of those Diana Ross wigs. And then love Diana Ross. Mm-hmm. So they love my mom. Yeah, she was into like going out. This is before I was probably born, but I found old pictures of her from the 70s. And she had on those little slim pantsuits and, jumpsuits from the disco era.
Oh, I can't wait to see
it. So here
yeah.
She is. I want to show the whole picture of the person she's with. Mm-hmm. But here she is with my first.
Okay, so 49 minutes and 5 seconds is when she says she looks at me. Remember that for me. The short-term memory is trash. Remember that for me, because I am. That's the mother. That's the mother. And her response to this picture, which is a picture of a picture because it's on the phone, was, oh my God, she looks like me. She does not look like you at all. This is your soul. This is, oh, yeah, she's reaching for somebody who looks like her. What in God's name? That is so awful. That is so awful. You are psychologically fucked. You are awful. She looks like me. Are you kidding? Oh, my heart. You poke my heart. Oh, man. this is an actual thing. This is an actual thing. Her brain is just completely, it's just, oh, wow. Oh, wow. You think they look alike? Okay. Let me get things back in order so I can do a slow motion for y'all. All right. So. There we go. Share screen. Trying to steal other people's beauty. That's just pathetic. All right, so one moment. Oh, yeah, that's right. I'm about to do slow motion. All right, so let me just go to 48. Come on, 4903 is where I want to get to. Dang, it won't let me. Just a little bit. It just goes, all right. So I guess I'm going to have to do like a whole 5 seconds because I got to get this slow motion. All right, here we go. Wait, maybe if I did this. Nope, couldn't do it. All right. So I'm going to have to do 5 seconds of slow motion. I'll do it at 0.5 and play.
That she's with. But here she is with my first.
Oh my God! SheRas, this your mom. She looks like me.
I know. All right.
She looks like me. Oh,
oh,
she was probably
crap. Oh crap.
Getting ready to go out or
oh crap. Okay, back to regular fast play. Oh, you poke my heart. Oh crap. Okay, let me continue.
Came from going out.
Oh my God.
Yeah, that's my mom.
I don't know. The three suppositions that we have, like I just was like, her daddy's black and her mom's daddy. I don't know why I thought that. I knew you were mixed, but usually, like, it's usually the other way around.
I know.
It's usually the other way around.
Well, here's another picture of her. This is when she was like not looking her best, but
wow, still cute. Oh my God, I don't know why that just makes me smile. It just makes me smile. I love it. So your mother went where she was celebrated.
Mm-hmm.
What do you think about having a black?
And so did her daughter. Her mother is with a light-skinned black guy. A light-skinned ADOS guy. And SheRas with a black guy also. So, yeah. They both went where they were celebrated at a rate of 90+%.
Mother, having a black mother who is phenotypically black looking, looks like she's, my complexion.
Mm-hmm.
There she go again. There she go again.
What do you think about people telling women that look like me and your mother that, they should,
There she go again. We're the same complexion, and people that look like me and your mother, oh, she is just milking this. For whatever reason, she's getting off on looking like SheRas 7's mother. It's weird. This is weird as I don't know what.
They shouldn't explore their options.
I mean, I didn't know that was a thing, not to explore your options, because my mom was exploring options since I was born.
Boom! killed her whole platform. She killed her whole platform, her argument, everything. She just killed everything because basically CK's whole argument is to pretend like Black women haven't been interracially dating, haven't been trying to interracially date since forever, since Loving versus the state of Virginia. She's trying to make it seem like that hasn't been the case since forever, and it has. See, they're not losing out because of they're not interracially dating because of Black women's race loyalty. They're not interracially dating because of white men's race loyalty. Listen, the same thing that they tried to push on us, erasure, or you're going to lose your seed, you're diluting your seed, etc., etc., etc. White men understand these concepts too. Men in general, they want to have kids to reproduce themselves. Women just want to have beautiful kids. Men want to reproduce themselves through their children. And that's why they say stuff like, that's why they name their kids such and such junior, such and such the third, the fourth, the fifth. They're looking for a recreation of himself. And the women, unfortunately, that can provide that least of all is Black women. She is least capable of reproducing yourself. If you are a blonde, blue-eyed white guy, you are most likely to reproduce yourself with a blonde, blue-eyed white woman. Listen, you with no name, what's your point, game changer? My point is that you're an idiot. That's my point. You was that kid. Somebody said, 2 + 2 is 4, which means that 4 - 2 is 2. And you say, what's your point? You are an idiot. You are imbecile. When somebody makes a poignant statement and you say, what's the point? It's because you're stupid. Listen, don't ask questions that smarter people didn't already ask before you. Freaking imbecile. And I bet you're sitting there confused and curious, aren't you? You're like, what's the point in him calling me an idiot? So everybody know, including you, that you're an idiot. What's your point? Gosh. And this is your audience. This is the pink pill audience. I'm trying to compete with Black women for what? Idiot? Guys, this is her audience. It's like Crystalline Carrizon is the idiot whisperer. And you're one of her peoples. You're saying stuff that makes no sense and you don't have a name.
So I didn't know.
I don't even know why.
Until people started talking about it, I'm like, well, I thought that there was options all the time. So, that's what I always.
205 Will says, no name, stop showing your IQ. She is showing her IQ. It's blank. That is her IQ up there. They both have a bigger platform than mine. Well, Kevin Samuels have a bigger platform than theirs. What are you talking about? And I have a bigger dick than both of them. Like, does that mean anything? Oh gosh. And this is her audience. Now she says it's jealousy. Listen. wanting something like someone else has does not mean that you are competing with them. For example, and that's a nuance that they don't really get. For example, right? There exists a millionaire, right? And let's just say, I don't know, whoever is the baseball player, whoever is the pitcher for the Oakland A's is a millionaire, I'm sure. And I would like to be a millionaire. Does that mean I'm competing with him? Does that mean that I'm competing with the pitcher for the Oakland A's? In any way, shape, or form? Oh, here's a perfect one. Ryan Coogler. Ryan Coogler, as many of you probably know, he grew up in the same general area that I grew up in. And I would like to be as wealthy as him. We have something else in common too. In fact, I think my cousin said that he tried to get at her once and she shot him down, like at a tennis thing or something. So hey, watch. I guess that's what happens when you don't. I guess that's what happens when you and this, my cousin didn't do this, but you know, you probably should help a dude on the come up. But yeah, according to her, he actually tried to get at her one time and she shot him down. You know, I don't know how true it is, but yeah, that happened. Anyway, and of course, this is when they were younger. But I would like to be wealthy too. Does that mean I'm in competition with them? All right, I'm wasting too much time on idiot talk.
Thought this. I mean, I know it wasn't a popular thing, but I knew that it was a thing. Mm-hmm. So, she was just, you know, she wanted to live a different lifestyle. She wanted to date where she was celebrated. She wanted to, you know, do what she wanted to do, and she never apologized for it. She never said anything was wrong with it, and you know, I don't think she got any, you know, why are you dating this type of man from anybody, because they were trying to date him too.
Where?
So basically what SheRas is saying is that there was no race loyalty ever, and that the women who could swirl did. It's just that it wasn't many of them. And it's still not. Which takes away from your whole argument of trying to encourage women to swirl. Like they've always wanted to. It's just that they can't get over the fact that men want to reproduce themselves. They can't.
What neighborhood did your mom live in? Because I mean, the actual dating who wanted to, you know, the reason why I wrote the book that I wrote.
And now it's a matter of neighborhood.
Was because there were women who looked like me who wanted to do it too. But there's just so much pushback and there's so much emotion still attached to not doing that. And so like during her time, she was, you know, she's older than me. So ahead of her time to make a decision like that, like where and how and what circumstances and like, yeah.
She was a weirdo.
She's saying that to appease her. She's basically saying that, you know, she's basically saying that, listen, if you desperately want to make my mom seem like some type of outlier, then I'll rock with that. So yeah, my mom was a weirdo.
Well, I think it was like, you know how when you work with certain people, and she worked in a very nice
Peace Keys
neighborhood.
Everybody with a name, everybody that has a name, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and hit that like button, please.
In a place in a very nice neighborhood, and all of her customers, the customers were, you know, wealthy. She worked in a wealthy neighborhood, so she kind of grew a rapport with these people, and they would give her tips, invite her to like their parties and things like that. So she kind of got a taste for that lifestyle, and she started, accepting some of those invitations, and that's how it kind of started.
So what happened was she experienced something different. She saw a different layer of society, something that she perceived to be better in terms of the quality of life, and she took it. And that's the thing.
Her mother didn't swirl. She married an Afro-Latino, one that literally had an afro. This chick is ridiculously nuts.
That I think that is an important takeaway is that the world that you live in, and many of the women who we service, the world that they live in seems very small to them, and they feel like they only operate on certain level of choices in how they navigate the world. And I think that what you do and what I do is to show them that there are other worlds than these. You know what I mean? That's from a movie somewhere. There are other worlds. No, that is not from a movie. Well, it is. It is from The Dark Tower, Stephen King. There are other worlds than these. And I think that what you do is extremely important. And while, I don't have to agree with everything, there was one thing that I disagreed with you on. Can we take the air? We disagreed with each other on straight hair versus like kinky hair.
Mm-hmm.
And I was like, I attract all kinds of people with my nappy kinky hair,
Why is she saying this while her hair is not nappy or kinky? Why is Crystalline Carrizon talking about I am on team kinky hair when she don't have kinky hair as she is saying it? Idiot's idiot. That's like a person dressed in all red saying, I'm on Team Crip. Wait, what?
No. And I was like, but then I was thinking to myself, but you know what? Okay, so I like my natural hair. I like textured hair, but I like a lot of hair up in the front, but I'm like, I want to be like you.
He's saying that the only part that was real was her on her hair is the front. Everything else is fake. Nah, Smooth, don't hide her unless she says something like ridiculously off the wall. It's no need to time her out. It's no need to time her out because basically I want people to see the type of people that listen to idiots. Like she is a sample population of her audience, and she's none too bright. So don't time her out. But why is she talking about I want kinky hair while she has straight hair and a fake ponytail? And the only part of her hair that's real is the bang. So basically, she is a chick with fake hair, fake face, because she has surgery on that, lipo, and a ponytail, talking about how naturally beautiful Black women are when they age. She is a joke.
Into the bag, and it was about numbers. No, not numbers. It was about getting to the bag as fast as you could. Without having to, see, oh, well, does this person like my natural hair texture? Okay, no. Does this person like my natural hair texture? Okay, no. What am I doing wrong? Because I started getting a lot of women asking me, why isn't it working for them and it's working for these other ladies? It's because they have on different wigs.
Oh my God. I've been trying to get a high value man and it's not working for me. Well, did you change your wig? Oh God. Oh God. That's the type of advice that's going on over there. So apparently high value men are looking at her like, yeah, I would get at her, but look at her wig. Oh my God. That's what our channel is about, telling women that they're just one wig away from getting the man of their dreams. So according to her, Snow White would still be asleep waiting for her prince if she didn't have the right wig on. This is what they are telling people. I'm telling you, young ladies, they are after your souls.
Underneath those wigs, they were all natural. So when they snatched the wig off, they all had the same hair texture. But at the end of the day, one was getting more.
Underneath those wigs, they're all natural. It's like a fat person saying, underneath this fat is a skinny person.
Attention and money than someone who was going with their natural hair. So I said, if y'all want to get to the bag fast, y'all know what y'all gotta do. Get them wigs on, snatch it off or whatever. And usually if you catch one, they know that's not your hair. They're gonna eventually get to see your real hair. I had a friend who wore wigs, and she caught a man who bought her, a bar and a nice car, and they got married. And she would have that wig on. And
hey, did Rapunzel have a wig? Like, think about it. Did Rapunzel have a wig? Like, what princess fantasize? Okay, let me continue.
One time I accidentally walked in to tell her goodbye because they had fell asleep or whatever, and I saw that wig on that wig head.
Yeah.
And her sleeping right next to him with no wig on. So after a while, they don't care. But in order to pique their interest, sometimes if they're not used to someone's hair texture, it may deter them. But sometimes it works for your favor, and sometimes some people don't want to say, okay, well, I just want to be the authentic me. If they like me, they like me. But some people are afraid. Like some people that are not, Black, they're afraid to offend you or to ask you questions or to cross the room. What other people are going to think sometimes, not all the time. And so that's the only reason I would say that, because you could get there faster, and then eventually they're going to find out. They know what's under that wig.
I also think it works to this is a tangent, but I also think it depends on your skin tone and how you look. Like for me, yeah, I wear wigs and I wear ponytails and things like that. But I think there's a certain expectations when somebody is a certain skin tone and a certain look that the hair should be consistent. And I think that's why white women get away with wearing.
Why is she saying that when her hair is currently not consistent?
More extensions than Black women do, because they wear hair that mostly matches what people expect their hair to look like, and versus maybe some Black women are trying to mimic the white woman's hair, when maybe if we did more of what was more authentic to our phenotype and our type, it would look more convincing. What do you think?
I thought the natural hair texture wigs and weaves were perfect, because it wasn't the texture that I was speaking about. It was the length or the style.
Yeah.
I don't know what any of this means. What's natural texture wigs and weaves?
You know what I mean?
Hair and stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, because your hair, I've worn it the same way with the same texture a few times. So the point was not the texture; it was the style. Some people were wanting just to wear a certain style, or and it wasn't attracting the type of men that they were trying to attract. So I just suggested wigs. I didn't care. I didn't tell them what type of wig. I just said the one that gets the most attention is long and straight. That's all I said.
Yeah, but I mean, long and straight. This is long and straight, but it's texture. So I think I misunderstood you. So I want to apologize.
Yeah. No, it's okay. A lot of people just thought that I meant all natural. I was just saying, the hair that is coming out of your head, if it's not attracting the type of men, then change it. I'm about results, not politically correctness. I'm trying to get results.
Right.
So at the end of the day, you can snatch off a wig and be natural, just like most people are under their wigs.
So what do you say to women who say, why I gotta do all that? Why can't I just be myself? Like why I gotta, why I gotta do all that?
I tell them I would rather do all that than sit in traffic and clock in every day. It says,
see how much smarter SheRas is than Crystalline? That was an intelligent response relative to Crystalline.
It's much easier.
And you know what? I want to say this on a personal note too, because I've actually had the privilege to talk to you on the phone. Mm-hmm. And I think that sometimes people have certain impressions about you because you present certain things that some people may say, yeah, and they may make assumptions that you're not so bright.
Oh my gosh. Oh my gosh. Is this not some underhanded crap just out of nowhere? People think you're not so bright. Even if they do, I can't say that they think that you are less bright than her. Other people are saying you're not so bright. That's your way of saying that she presents stupid. You're basically saying that, yeah, people think you're stupid, but you're actually smarter than what people think. Poindexter, they've been catty all night, but especially Crystalline because she's light-skinned. They've been doing like sneak disses like that all night. Or not all night, but like through the whole stream. All right.
And I think that it's brilliant that you are okay with people having that impression of you when in fact, like, you guys, she's so smart. I'm telling you what, I'm giving you away right now. She's so smart, you guys. Like, but we all have, people think I'm dumb too. So, I mean, it's okay. But I mean,
do you want to know why people think you're dumb?
Even I was like, I was like, is she? What, I had the filter on too. And then I talked.
So you're basically saying that you thought she was an idiot. You're basically saying you thought that this was an idiot and you can treat her as such. This is some shade shit.
And I'm like, this girl is as smart, if not smarter in a lot of ways than I am. Okay.
Well, you have to play dumb sometimes.
So let's talk about playing dumb. Let's talk about playing dumb in dating, because that is also a Machiavellian mercenary way of enchanting people. So let's talk about that too.
Well, I mean, when you play dumb, you allow people to tell you much more they would have told you if you were smart, because they feel like if you're smart, you're strategic, or you're sneaky, or something like that, mm-hmm. or you're paying too close attention, or you're going to read between the lines.
It's funny because that's exactly what she did to Crystalline Carrizon. Like, through this whole interview, she wasn't saying much, and Crystalline Carrizon was revealing herself to be the dummy. Just kind of like how she revealed that she thought that she was dumb. She played Crystalline Carrizon like she's claiming to play the guys. Just like Crystalline Carrizon revealed about herself that she had lipo. So, yeah, she played you. Machiavelli.
But when you're dumb, they don't filter themselves. They don't care. They let stuff slip, and they don't figure you're going to catch anything. So it's easier to get to know someone by playing dumb faster, to know what they're about.
And now we know that your hair is fake, your lips are fake, and you've had lipo. So yeah, she's basically describing what she did to you. And you have some type of weird complex where you want to look like her mom. Like, you see how much about you she revealed in this stream? Yes, Dane, Crystalline Carrizon had lipo. What are you asking? If Crystal and Carrizon had lipo? Yes, Crystal and Carrizon had lipo. So yeah, Dan Christopher, I know that you got here late, but Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. And even though there's less people listening now than there were before, but to all the people who are new, first of all, hit the like button. And second of all, Crystal and Carrizon had lipo. What are you asking? Are you asking me if Crystal and Carrizon had lipo? Because if you're asking me right now if Crystal and Carrizon has had liposuction, the answer is yes. The answer is yes. Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. Ah, dang. My second screen went off. But I got a feeling I can't really see the comment section. But if anybody is asking in the comment section if Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction, the answer is yes. Yes, Crystal and Carrizon has had liposuction. All right.
Yeah, I mean, because I'm not gonna reveal the whole conversation, but I'm like, the stuff you're into, I'm just like, okay, she's gonna be my friend. We're gonna be friends. We're gonna talk about nerdy stuff together, and people are gonna have no idea that we are such nerds. So you and I are gonna be doing something together.
Why do people equate being a nerd with being smart? I mean, I get it. Many nerds are smart, but just because you like nerdy stuff, that doesn't make you smart.
We're going to be doing a private event. It's going to be how to meet a millionaire, and so you guys know it's all me in giving you the tips and tricks on how to present in terms of communicating, body language, etiquette, all of the things that are the external shell part. And Shira is going to be giving you the tea on how to enchant and enthrall and seduce.
I am.
She said, "I am." She had no intention of doing this. Like, this is what I'm going to be doing? Like, really? Okay, I appreciate you, useless familiar. I appreciate you, brother. Thanks for the cash app. Oh crap. Thanks for the large cash app from. I don't want to say your name, but let's just say J. JB. I appreciate the large cash app, brother. All right, and useless familiar. I appreciate you too, bro. Thanks a lot. All right.
Yes, you are. That's what you do. Because I think that both are necessary. And what I want to do is, and I need to talk to Tanya about this too, because I think that there are three things that I think are necessary for women in our demographic to win. And that is that, first of all, you need to feel like you deserve to be in the room, right? That you are worthy enough to be in the room. And that's about self-love and cultivating your inner self and being comfortable. And then you also need to know how to navigate. So you can have all the self-love in the world, but if you don't know how to navigate and speak in the language in which the people in which you want to interact with speak, and there's a variety of different ways in which that language is expressed, then you can lose that way. But say you have you have mentality, you now have the skills, but then how do you enchant? How do you enthrall? How do you captivate? How do you bend to your will? And so that's where I think that the value of all of us coming together on something like this is remarkable and amazing. What do you guys think? For those of you guys in the chat, we've got 8.
Okay, I can answer the question of how a woman does this. She does this by being younger, hotter, sexier, childless. Just like when you two found your husbands, you did it when you were younger, hotter, sexier. Oh no, Crystal and Carrizon had a child, but he wasn't high value. So, so back to Shira, you find these guys when you are younger, hotter, sexier, childless.
1,800 people in here right now. How many of you guys think about an event in which you learn the tactics and then you learn the sorcery and the witchery?
I told you these chicks are witches trying to steal your soul. Now, notice how the witches in the old-timey tales, they weren't really after the guys. They were always giving the little girls apples. and stuff like that. They were always, trying to stop Cinderella from getting to the ball. These women are not your fairy godmothers. They're witches. They're wicked, wicked witches. They're after your ruby shoes. Shout out to Classic Ruby. They're out after your ruby slippers. Notice the witches weren't attacking the wizard. The witches weren't attacking the prince. The witches always attacked the women that were younger, hotter, sexier, childless. I'll get you, my pretty. Oh, and they were after their dogs. These two witches are after the pretty young women and your dogs. They're after your dogs. Young women, I am trying to help you. These are not fairy godmothers. They are witches, and they want your dogs. Press 1 if y'all want to hear the slow motion. Press 1 if y'all want to hear the slow motion. All right, nobody's pressing 1. I'll continue. But yeah, they're witches. Oh wait, here's some ones. All right, slow motion it is.
Have mentality. You now have the skills, but then how do you enchant? How do you enthrall? How do you captivate? How do you bend to your will? And so that's where I think that the value of all of us coming together on something like this.
All right, here we go.
Is remarkable and amazing. What do you guys think? For those of you guys in the chat, we've got 1,800 people in here right now. How many of you guys think about an event in which you learn the tactics and then you learn the sorcery and the witchery?
The witchery.
So press 1 if
the witchery. Can y'all believe this? Can y'all believe this? See, y'all think I'm lying when I call it bitchcraft. Y'all think I'm lying. They will admit it. This is bitchcraft. And the witches are always attacking the younger, hotter, sexier, childless women. I showed y'all the video where Crystal and Carrizon was trying to sabotage the young chicks. She was like, oh, she's 25 and she's so young and inexperienced. She is not on your side. She is the wicked witch of the West. I know because I live in the West with her, and she is the wicked witch of it.
Do you think that that's something you would like to do? And press 2 if you think you already know it all.
She basically asked her audience to press 1 if you'd like to become a witch, and press 2 if you already are a witch. Hit the like button, people.
Okay, I'm waiting to see the responses. There's a delay. But let me go to the CK. Yes, there's lots of yeses. Yes, hell yes. Yes. Yes, lots of ones.
She basically said her audience want to become witches. I mean, these chicks are stupid and devious. It's sick. Damn, GC, you dropping knowledge tonight. Witches target young girls. Absolutely. Like when you read all the old timey like fairy tales and nursery rhymes, like Hansel and Gretel and stuff like that, they are always attacking the young. They're always attacking the women who are younger, hotter, sexier, childless.
Okay, so I guess we're gonna have to do it because there's a lot of people who are saying, yes, we're going to have to do this. This is going to be a private event because there's going to be things that obviously are, you know.
See, we don't really need to know what they're telling them. Basically, this is how they market. This is how they market young Black women. They are telling everybody who's listening, the 1,800 people apparently that's listening, some of whom are men of different races, I'm sure. Even though you would think that a channel that's full of Black women who want to swirl would have a equal amount of non-Black men who are looking to get with such women. You would think that, right? But you don't really see that, just saying. But anyway, that we're witches, that we have secret meetings where we discuss how to manipulate you. We are witches. We are witches that got lipo. Now, people might be asking, why did he mention lipo right now? Well, because Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. So that's why I mentioned it, because Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. She had liposuction. Crystal and Carrizon did. Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. All right.
Secrets. These are tactics, and the way that you win is that you know when to have the secret closed door meetings versus putting.
Just saying that you're having a secret closed door meeting is about how to become a witch is enough. Like, that's really all we need to know.
It all out there. SheRas, before we end, what can women who have learned the skills of the pink pill through etiquette and navigating and communicating, and they really want to try to get men who are providers, what are maybe one or two things you would say to the pinkies and how to do that?
The first thing is you have to act like you already know you can get a provider. You have to act like you already have one. Because most people, especially men, if they think that you're already worthy or deemed worthy by someone else, then they have no questions. They have no, they don't question your value. They don't question whether you deserve something or not. If you act like you already deserve it because you already have it, then it's easier to go in and conversate and start conversations with these people, because you're not feeling as if you don't deserve something, or you're not feeling as if you can't or have not had someone who was a provider before. So I say, play a scene in your mind as if you do have a provider, because that will help you attract one. If you already act, walk, and talk like you have one, you don't have
a certain level of expectation. There's a certain level of body language. There's a certain level of behavior. Like when you go into places and you're in the line of sight of the type of men that you want to be with, or the ones that you want to get the gaze of. There's a certain behavior. You need to look like you belong there. You need to look like you don't feel like an imposter. You need to look like this is a Tuesday for you.
So basically, she's calling these women imposters. She's saying you're an imposter, but don't look like an imposter. You imposter.
Right. Imagination has a lot to do with it. You can walk in a place and in your mind, if you feel a certain way, that's what's going to come out. That's what people are going to feel around you. So if you walk into a place as if, you have some man providing for you who bought you a car, and you're just out shopping and running errands, other people are going to get that same vibration from you, and that's how they're going to treat you. But if you walk around like, oh, I live with a Dusty, and I have to pay bills and take care of him, that's gonna come off of you. So you have to walk and talk for the life you desire, not the life you have or the life you don't want. So that's my advice. Just when you walk into any place, walk as if you already have it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. You gotta, there is something to faking it until you make it. And I think that even when you do make it, there are times where you feel like, do I really belong here? And that's where the self-talk has to be reinforced, even with me, like I've been on CNN, I wrote a book, and sometimes I feel like, do I really deserve this? So I think that that's a talk you have to have with yourself ongoing. You know what I mean?
Right.
There was something that you said. Did you want to say something?
No, I was like, you do deserve it because you did the work.
I wanted to share with you guys something, and I shared this earlier today. Something that you said to me that was so beneficial to me, and just made me just.
Okay, so I want to show y'all something. I was researching while I was listening. Here is the link. This is a link to a video of Crystal and Carrizon before liposuction. I repeat, what I am putting in the chat room is a link to Crystal and Carrizon before liposuction. It is entitled My Personal Weight Loss Journey, and it has pics. Now, keep in mind, she just admitted that she had liposuction. I repeat, she admitted that she had liposuction. In this video, I'm sure she's going to try to pretend like it was diet and exercise. But remember, Crystal and Carrizon has had liposuction. I am going to cover this video. But yes, Crystal and Carrizon has had liposuction. And she now has a video out where she is talking about her weight loss journey from a year ago. The link is in the chat room. I will be covering this. Look at it now because she might try to take it down. All right, give me a second. All right, so now let me get back to it.
Really like kind of fall in love with you a little bit. I was telling you, like, I really don't focus a lot on the self-love because I've been on my journey to feel worthy of like all of the things that I have and starting to feel like, I deserve all of these things because I've had people, I've had energies that tell me that I don't deserve where I am. So the self-love journey is something that I don't feel really comfortable teaching because I'm on the journey. So I don't feel comfortable teaching something that I'm trying to work through. It just doesn't seem right, legit. But you said something that was so profound, and it was like,
she don't feel comfortable teaching self-love. Okay,
where's all of the therapy that, like, you said, what I tell women is to
I don't know, is the Jordan fella a plastic surgeon? Because Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction.
that you are a body, but you're also a soul. And that if you have trouble loving your body, love your soul.
Right.
And I just thought to myself, oh my gosh, I really do believe that my soul.
Well, if you have trouble loving your body, then you get liposuction. Because Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. Okay, so Earth Gang, you were asking a question. She had what? And what I was saying was Crystal and Carrizon had liposuction. Yeah, so in case you're new here, just to point it out there that Crystal and Carrizon has had liposuction. And this video here talks about her weight loss journey. And unless on the video she's talking about her weight loss journey, as in her journey from the house to the doctor's office, then this video is a complete fraud and sham. Yeah, just so you know, Carrizon has had liposuction. So she mentioned she mentioned that she's had liposuction in this video, the one that I'm covering, her most recent one, not the one she's doing right now. So she mentioned that here. And now in the video, the link that I put out there just now is the link of her weight loss journey that she claimed to have went through, even though Carrizon has had liposuction. And I appreciate the 715. So 715 is the amount that you send if you want to send $5. After 30% of this is taken away, this $5 is what's left. So 715 is the amount. I appreciate it. But yeah, it is disgusting. So yeah, once again, here's the before picture of her weight loss journey.
Is beautiful and wonderful and perfect. And I love my soul. And because I know my soul knows the purpose of all of this, the reason for the why and the when and the where and for everything. And it takes away that, oh, is my nose too big? Oh, am I too fat? Oh, is my hair not long enough? Oh, is my teeth not straight enough? It's the loving of the soul of who you are on the inside that really it was just one of those moments, one of those Oprah aha moments that I really appreciate. And it really did make me just fall in love with you a little bit more.
I said it a little bit different though.
Okay.
I said,
okay, so how I received it was like that.
No, I mean, that's how you received it. But I said, well, if we're a soul and all our souls are connected to, the source or God, if God or our soul is going to enter into our bodies, would God or would the source energy, or however you want to call it, the universe, would they feel as if they didn't deserve something? With that soul or that energy or that goddess or God energy, would they feel insecure about anything? No, they wouldn't. And that's how I would describe, you have a soul and your soul is part of the universe, which is part of the source, which is part of God. So
see, this is just witch babble. What they're talking about now is just witch shit. I don't know what they're talking about.
If that soul is a part of God, then it shouldn't feel inferior. It shouldn't feel anything. It should feel superior, actually.
Right.
Like, they talk about soul and God like they're not advocating being a lying bitch. Like, how many Christian witches do you know? You're a self-confessed witch. And you're talking about, yes, it's about God and the soul. Witches have no souls. That's how they're able to fly on brooms. They don't have souls.
Yeah, it was just such a way of taking, and I did receive it as like, love your soul. Like, if you have trouble loving your body, love your soul. That's how I interpreted it.
And if the universe or God or the source incarnated into a random body,
if you can't love your body, love your soul, what kind of dumb crap is that? Well, I can't rightly love my body because I'm shaped like a pumpkin, but I can love my soul. This is the advice that they're giving you. Young women, listen closely. While they're out getting lipo and going on these 1,200 calorie diets, they're telling you to love your soul. This is witchcraft. The witches attack the young women. They attack the women who are younger, hotter, sexier, childless. Did Cinderella or did Snow White, did the witch in Snow White, Did she attack the prince? Did she put a love spell on the prince? No. She took down Snow White. The moment she hit the wall, the mirror told her that you are not the fairest of them all. There's a new chick in town, and she is younger, hotter, sexier, childless. And you got to poison her. You have to be her. You have to pretend to be her friend and poison her. Good. You're a smart person, Nancy.
And they look at their body and like, wait a minute. Okay, I'm here now. I need to do my job. I need to conquer this world, or I need to, do what I need to do to make change. So let me fix it up. I can't walk around looking crazy. I can't walk around Walmart with a bonnet on my head. I can't do this. I'm supposed to be representing,
I agree. You can't.
The first man, the first woman, or whoever. I can't walk around looking like a bum.
Right.
I gotta, and if I do, it's only so people won't see me until I can get into the position where I need to be. So, in all the movies where they show like God as a janitor or like or something like that, but then they show him in a nice suit because you can come in any form and you need to represent when you need to represent. And so I think we should all feel that way and not doubt ourselves or be insecure, because that's what we are. We're just representing in different ways at different times. So when it's time to shine, then you got to shine.
Hybrid vigor, yes, they are. Okay, listen. Y'all think I'm joking when I say feminists are not women. They're not. Feminists are not women, and therefore don't deserve our love or respect. Listen, okay, so Adam had a wife prior to Eve. Her name is, or I should say was, unless she's still alive, lurking around somewhere, but her name was Lilith. Lilith wanted equal everything. In fact, she refused to be on the bottom while they were having sex, because God created Eve from the rib of Adam. However, God created Lilith from dirt, just like Adam. Therefore, she believed that because they were made from the same dirt, it wasn't her place to support a mate. It was, however, her place to be equal to him, alongside him. Adam said, fuck this bitch! And kicked her out of Eden. And she was replaced with the, though naive, more cooperative Eve. Now, you would think that she would just go somewhere and die, but nope. What did she do? She found an archangel to procreate with. And they had children. Her and this demon. They had children. And those children were not considered people. They were called, the ancients called the ancients called them succubi. And the male version of a succubi was an incubi. Succubi and incubi was the ancient term for descendants of Lilith. The medieval / Renaissance term for these descendants were called, what were they called? Witches. They were called witches. The modern term for these people are feminists. Therefore, the descendants are not really women. They are the descendants. Feminists are not actually women. They are incubi and succubi. They are descendants not of Eve, like regular pygmies. They come from a far worse lineage.
And you can't second guess it. That's just what it is.
Well, however you put it, it helped me, you know, and it was like worth, you know, I need to be sending you a check in the mail.
Okay, I said you don't really? No, you always donate on my channel.
How funny is that? I need to send you a check in the mail. Was it that damn funny? A check in the mail?
I mean, it really was. It was one of those moments where I don't know. It just clicked, you know, and so it just brings back the idea that we all have value and that we all have something that
right.
you know that can reach. And it doesn't mean that we all have to agree. It doesn't mean that we all have to be in this echo chamber. But that we all have something, and that, you know, people can chew the meat and spit out the bones. And I think that we are stronger when we're so much stronger when we respect each other and understand the power of a strong alliance of womaninity than
right.
it is to be separate. And so I say all that to say that your voice is very necessary. Your voice is refreshing. You're funny. You touch on a road that I don't have that's not me. That's not my road. That's not my lane, but your lane is essential. And I celebrate your ability to do that very well. And
thank you.
I support you in that. And I'm really looking forward to doing a lot of things with you and learning from you, and my people learning from you, and maybe your people learning from me.
You see that? She knows she's an idiot, relatively speaking. And, you know, just generally speaking. I'm looking forward to learning from you. You're looking forward to learning from a woman who's 6 years your junior? And if you're supposed to be a married woman, then why are you learning, you know, like, what are you trying to learn? Like, what are you trying to do? Trying to, like, snatch another guy?
And let's do this thing together.
Right. I mean, you can't raise your value. And
what we are witnessing is the forming of a covet. Is a forming of a covet. They are going to get together and get 2 more chicks, and they are going to stir a pot. It's always 4. I know in the movies it's 3, but it's always 4. Think about it. Waiting to exhale. It's always 4 bitches. Living single ladies. It's always 4 bitches.
And, you know, as a collective, if you're always trying to tear each other down, that's why I don't feel that those channels that are trying to tear women down are going to be around.
You're tearing women down by tearing down a woman's channel.
Much longer, because you know, if we don't, like, a lot of people don't realize this, but you have the power to send a lot of your people over there to click some buttons.
And that's their way of trying to get Jessica to join their covet. I could send a lot of people over there to you, you know, if you just, you know, all you got to do is just stir this pot a little bit.
You know, so do I, but we haven't said anything.
Mm-hmm.
So the power is in our hands.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, but for me, I try to see the positive in everything. And since those videos have been out, I've gotten 3,000 more subscribers. So I'm not complaining.
Yeah. Right. I mean, girl, me too. Like, for the first time, I'm actually looking at 100,000 subscribers. And so I would appreciate for everybody who's watching if they could contribute to the race to get the pink pill to 100,000 subscribers.
Yeah, I saw that.
Yeah.
Congrats. Yeah. I think, you know, a couple more videos, you'll hit it.
So, Sheena, what else do you have going on? I want to promote you right now. What is it that you want people to know? I know you have books out. You have a channel. I put it in the description box. But what else do you have going on that I can help you convey and communicate with my audience?
Well, I do have my Level Up Cosmetics online store. I sell makeup.
Mm-hmm.
levelupcosmetics.us. And I do have books on Amazon.
I bring nothing to the table. I actually downloaded it. I gotta read it.
Table, Too Pretty to Pay Bills, The Wisdom of SheRas 7, and then How to Do What You Love, which is more of a book on how to start like small online businesses with little of no money, like little of nothing. But yeah, a lot of those books are in ebook form, and some are also in paperback form. So I also have just a merch store on my YouTube channel that says like sprinkle sprinkle on like a sweatshirt or like a little kiss mark. But other than that, I do have like an Etsy store where I sell like minerals and elixirs and stuff like that for well-being and things like that. But at the end of the day, YouTube is my main form of what I do. Everything stems from YouTube.
Right. YouTube is a double-edged sword. You got to take the good with the bad. And it's a great way to reach out to people and get a wider voice. So, SheRas, I have to ask you this question. I could say goodbye to you, or you could participate in the Pinky Two-Step.
What's that? You want me to come on? You want to come on my channel?
No.
Now, for those of you who don't know, and unfortunately I do because I've been, listening to this crap to get it to you. The Pinky Two-Step is a little dance that she does at the end of her show where she takes a cardboard cutout of Waldo, not her husband, a cardboard cutout of Waldo, and dances with it. Now, the fact that SheRas 7 doesn't know what that is, it's because SheRas 7 doesn't watch Crystal and Carrizon. I repeat, SheRas 7 does not watch Crystal and Carrizon. SheRas 7 doesn't watch Crystal and Carrizon? No, SheRas 7 does not watch Crystal and Carrizon. Once again, SheRas 7 does not watch Crystal and Carrizon. Because SheRas 7 understands that Crystal and Carrizon is an idiot's idiot. Yeah. So that part is clear, and I think now the rest of the video is just dancing. So I can adjourn.
I play music and we dance. If you don't want to, you don't have to. But I'm conclusive, but I always do.
What kind of dance you be doing?
Like grown and sexy.
I might start.
Notice how she's the only one laughing. Generally, when people do like a laugh at their own joke, it's a leading laugh. Like you're trying to get others to laugh too. That's why in the old-timey TV shows, TV sitcoms like Urkel and stuff, they did the track laugh, to get members of the audience to laugh as well. But she was not laughing because she thinks she's an idiot. And she thinks that she's an idiot that dances with cardboard boxes at the end of a show. Yeah. Or cardboard cutouts, excuse me.
Walking over here.
I know. Okay. Well, so I play the so here's the thing, you guys. Thank you for joining us. Thank you for please check out SheRas channel. Go over there and subscribe. And so now is the Pinky Two-Step. And here's what I do. And I bring out Waldo. Waldo is a cardboard cutout. Waldo is the in the manosphere.
SheRas just gave this look like, oh, this chick is strange. She's about to dance with a cardboard cutout. She gave a look.
They say that Waldo is like the white guy that they say black women never get because white men don't want them like that. And they say, where's Waldo? And so I dance with Waldo. We do the Pinky Two-Step. It's fun.
There she go laughing again at her own crap. And let's see if SheRas laughs.
If you want to do it, you can say, but I'm about to play the music and you can decide. But thank you so much. And here we go.
I grab my cat over here.
Okay, so that's that. I'm not going to get copyright on whatever she's playing. But listen, Siglia says, GC is the Anton LaVey of Black YouTube. I'm also a nerd, so I don't know who that. I got a feeling it's an athlete. I got a feeling, but I appreciate it. Get these witches in line. I appreciate you, bro. So yeah, so now they're about to exit and do the little dance or whatnot. So not gonna really get into that. What I am gonna do before I close out is I just got to. I am itching to do this personal weight loss journey thing. I am just itching for that. So I'm just gonna play like a random snippet of it. So because I'm just curious what she has to say. I haven't heard any of this before. But this one says, my personal weight loss journey. This is the link. There we go. All right. And let's continue.
But my blood sugar levels are now normal. I am now a healthy weight. I think the last I checked, I'd lost like 10 or 11 pounds.
Okay, so she was on some blood sugar stuff too. Dang, she had all kind of like blood sugar and stuff going. Okay, so here, let's see. Let me go back some.
And 50 pounds since I was carrying children in my womb. I could not believe I'd let my weight get away with me like that. And did you guys know that even the kind of weight that I carry that's around the belly is extremely dangerous over time, and it can cause a host of problems that run in my family, like high blood pressure, diabetes, even cancer, especially hormone resistant breast.
So basically, you are saying that you have genetic problems that run in your family, and this is what you're trying to sell to other races of men who don't necessarily have these problems? You're basically saying, hey, men, group of men that don't have these problems, if you want your kids to have the problems that you genetically don't, get with this chick.
Cancer. Like, this is no joke. It is no joke. So I get the blood panel back, and they're like, your blood pressure's high, you are borderline, sugar, insulin resistant. So I was like within a point or two of being,
Dang, she's diabetic and she has like a resistance to the medicine? Dang, you're just like genetic garbage.
On the borderline for diabetic. My mother is a diabetic, and she gives herself shots, and I was like, you know what? I do not want this to be me. I do not want to be in the position where I have to administer to myself insulin, that I have to watch everything that I eat. I didn't want to do that. I want to have, I want to enjoy food, but in moderation. And, but I also want to treat my body healthy. This is the only body I'm going to have. So I decided I needed to start doing something. So it wasn't just about, oh, look at this. Ugh, look at all this fat. It's gross, right? It was me really taking a serious look at myself in the mirror.
Come on, just say what you're gonna say.
Myself accountable, because I always say this: don't compete with other people. Compete with yourself. If you outdo yourself, you always win. So periodically, and this started when I was on my weight loss journey, I would take these pictures of myself. I would take these pictures of myself in the mirror to remember where I was. And
get to the point where you got lipo.
I gotta tell you, I'm really happy with where I am. I'm not exactly where I want to be, but my blood sugar levels are now normal. I am now a healthy weight. I think the last I checked, I'd lost like 10 or 11 pounds, and what's left is it's a lot of muscle. So I'm going in the right direction. One thing that I learned through just this, my nutrition journey too, was that I can't eat like bread and rice and a bunch of potatoes and stuff like that. I can't eat that because those are the things that make my body react in store.
Everybody's body react negatively to carbs and sugar. Okay, so this is her talking about her weight loss journey and how she can't eat bread and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But no, you went and got lipo, bitch. Let's be clear. I am going to cover this as an aside, as an aside, there's another aspect that I want to cover on and listen tomorrow, because I'm going to cover the effects. I'm going to cover the effects of that she's having on these young girls. So it's going to be entitled "The Effects That the Pink Pill Has on Young Black Girls." I'm going to cover that. And then as an aside, I'm going to talk about how this chick, oh, and I already copied it because I know her people was listening. I already copied it. That's right. So don't try to take the video down because it's already copied. I'm going to talk about I'm going to talk about how this bitch just lied to everybody, talking about a weight loss journey, knowing you got lipo. High cholesterol, you got to get lipo. Hungry, hungry hippo.
Or fat. And it's interesting when I get off bread for a while, and then I'll maybe have a sandwich or something. I'll start to get rapid heart rate, like anxiety, almost like a panic attack. So my body really is happy that I'm not putting.
Dang, that's your DNA? You die from eating a loaf of bread? You eat bread and you have a heart attack? Just half a sandwich?
That in there. And at 40, almost 46 years old, I have to be careful. I always have to look at myself in the mirror, to look at myself and see where I am and hold myself accountable. And so now I'm happy to say that I found an exercise that I can do regularly.
Yeah, a knife exercise. I found an exercise that I can do regularly. Yeah, it's called lipo. Do the lipo.
Or I would just do yoga, and you guys know a lot of. I would do most of my exercises from home. That worked for a while until it didn't. I need the discipline of a class. I need the pressure to go, and I need the consequences of not going. So right now I'm doing exclusively Pilates 5 days a week, and I book my classes in advance. And
I'm doing Pilates. No, you're doing Pilates.
They charge me. So
you're doing Pilates.
I don't want to see a charge on my PayPal because I did not go to Pilates. So I will get my butt up and go. And then while I'm...
And you didn't go. You went to the doctor and you was like, fuck this. So all the health issues that you described are still there. You just went to the doctor so you don't look unhealthy. All right. That's enough. Let me close down. There's other good people going right now. All right. So like to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. Want to thank oh, wait a minute. What is this chick talking about right now? Just curious. What is she saying right now? Oh, she's done. Never mind. Yeah, she finished 7 minutes ago. All right. So I want to thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. I want to thank the managers and moderators. I want to thank those who are... Oh, wait a minute. Did I miss a Cash App? Anton Levy is the author of the Satanist Bible. GC equals the feminist Antichrist. No, I'm the feminist Christ. Like, they're the Antichrist. They're the anti, woman. But I appreciate the Cash App. And yes, $7.15 is how much you send, which is, $5 minus the percent. So minus the 30% that YouTube takes. So I greatly appreciate you, the one. But yeah, I thought he was an athlete. But yeah, thanks for breaking that down to me. All right. So that being said, thank the Cash Apps and Super Chats. I want to thank the managers and moderators. I want to thank those who are listening silently and those who participated in the chat. Thursday, I am doing what I call Theater Thursday. Basically, what that is you You take the StreamYard link and we privately watch a movie. The last movie was the movie Knock Knock. This movie is going to be coming to America. If you would like to join, then I will be including the link and the details on my page, on my community tab. So once again, this Thursday's movie is coming to America. Hope to see you there. Okay, so you are the most Nietzsche. Is that it? Frederick Nietzsche. Thank you. You're more Frederick Nietzsche than Anti-Levy, brother. You know, I don't know what that word is. Let's see. Ubermensch content. Okay, I appreciate you, bro. You are far more learned than I am. I appreciate you, the one. All right. So yeah. So thanks again, and hit that like button on your way out. This is Game Changer 00100. Game over. Peace. All right, it's me, Superman. I appreciate you, bro.